Oh, Matt Elliott here.
Hi, Alan Smith here.
Hey guys, Ian Hume here.
Hi everybody, Jerry Taggart here.
Be sure to watch
Chris and Leicester Till I Die TV
For all the latest Leicester City news and information.
You can also subscribe on YouTube and various social media channels.
for the latest updates and news on Leicester City Football Club.
Come on, you foxes!
Happen in 49, 61, 63 or 69 when they reach the final. But the class of 2021 have delivered. Leicester City are FA Cup winners at last and are history makers at Wembley.
They have blown their rivals away. They have blown us all away in truth. Premier League champions 2016. The amazing Leicester City.
Leicester Till I Die TV. Your first choice for everything Leicester City. Tune in and join in now.
Watchalong show. Join in the chat and don't forget to subscribe.
Right, Chris.
All right there, how the devil are we all? Welcome along. It's match day. We are about 39 minutes off the kickoff. The teams have been announced and we are back to Premier League action after our exploits, in the European Conference midweek. We've got Newcastle and I'm forgetting what I'm due to say. Oh, it's been one of those mornings. Yeah, we're playing Newcastle, a trip up to St James's Park. I should have put my other set of teeth in. I really should. It is Leicester Till I Die TV. Find us Facebook, Twitter. If you're watching on YouTube, it's, of course, Leicester Till I Die TV. Please smash the like, share if you can, and subscribe to the channel. It all helps. Thank you very much. And if you are listening on podcast, thank you very much as well. Like I say, we are playing Newcastle, and it took me to find a Newcastle fan that wasn't going to the match because, I mean, the great supporters are all going to the match, and he couldn't go to the match, well, because he's in Poland. Let's say hello to Alex. Alex, good afternoon. How the devil are you?
I'm great, thank you. It's a shame I can't be there, but it's a bit far, so...
Well, it is just for, but then again, you know, as long as you're not being called a plastic fan for not going.
No. Well, supporter for over 20 years. It's just unfortunate I live abroad, so yeah, I get to games when I can.
Well, you're coming home soon, aren't you? Which is the main thing. Big Newcastle fan. How can people find you?
Yeah, so I'm the Toon Review Stato on the Toon Review YouTube channel, which is run by Paul. Been going for a very long time, does watch-alongs, show previews, reviews, has a fan forum, and we do videos on the transfer window, so it's going to be a very interesting summer for our club, indeed. So the Toon Review on YouTube and the Toon Review on Twitter as well, so
brilliant.
Check it out.
Brilliant. That's where they can... Your links are in the description below, so... And it is a great channel. I was on there the other day with Paul, always have a bit of banter with him. I remember this time last season, Alex, that you were struggling. I mean, you obviously stayed up in the end, and I don't think there was one Newcastle fan that actually predicted a Newcastle win. You know, you all saying, 3-0, 4-0, 5, whatever. And you came, or I don't know, I can't remember where it was now, but it ended up that you beat us 4-2. I don't know where that performance came from, but I think you're a bit more confident this time.
Yeah, I mean, earlier performances under Steve Bruce were mixed. He still had some cohesion and structure left over from Rafa. We still had a lot of defenders that were in their prime. Players that have since dropped off. Lejeune went to Spain after injury troubles. Kieran Clark's forgotten how to play football. So we've had a few issues, but the squad was in an okay place. And then, as everything does with the Steve Bruce time, over several seasons or however long it takes, things start to unravel as the fitness declines and the structure sort of dissipates. But we did nick the odd win here and there. But as you could see in the reverse fixture at the start of this season, we're not at the races with what he left us with fitness wise.
I thought I'd let you mention that. I didn't want to sort of jump straight in and say that. But I mean, you are a completely different team now. New manager, a couple of good signings. I mean, I live down here just outside Bournemouth, so I've seen what Eddie Howe is capable of at a smaller club, and that's no disrespect to Bournemouth. I mean, he got them they were in the 4th tier with minus 17 points when he took over, and he got them to the Premier League. A great manager, and I think you've got a good sign in there. But you must be happy with the way things are going now.
Yeah, I'm pleasantly surprised by Eddie Howe. I'm very, very impressed. His recruitment was incredible at Bournemouth. His tactics. I mean, some people will always point to Dominic Solanke as a flop, but who has come good now. But he always
who hasn't had
cleverly.
flops? We've all had flops.
Indeed, but he recruits based on potential and physicality and what he can turn players into, and that's exactly what he's done with the existing players that we've got now. He's turned absolute flops into well. Sky Sports Premier League have just tweeted about Joe Linton being a very underrated player. I can't imagine that having happened a year ago. So it just shows the work Eddie Howe's done.
As I say, I think he's a great manager to take you forward. The teams have been announced, so let's see if I can bring the teams in here. I mean, I think we've made 8 changes, I think, so which wasn't probably... We'd made 7 for last week's game to Palace, and obviously 7 again for the midweek game, so it wasn't a surprise. But let's have a look. Oops, let me press the right... Where are we? There we go. I was looking at something else, and I'd moved the page down. Are you pleased with your lineup?
Well, no, because we want Callum Wilson and Trippier. We want all of our injured players back.
Well, I know you,
but
I mean, with what's available,
this will do. With Willock being announced fit, it's surprising he's not playing. But this was this is spot on what my predicted lineup was the other night in the preview show. So the only contested position was either Murphy or Almiron on the right side. But other than that, the team picked itself because we just don't have any more depth. It's Longstaff or Murphy. There's nobody else on the bench that's going to play. So
no.
We are quite limited at the moment, despite the transfer window.
I mean, looking at your front 3 there, and St. Maximin, great player. Worried about him. Almiron as well. Chris Wood always likes to get a goal against us because, of course, he did play for us for a while. Was it a surprise signing? Because I mean, when you signed him, I said I know Chris Wood, and I've got I like Chris Wood. He never let us down at Leicester. He just unfortunately came along just as Jamie Vardy was breaking through, so you can see what happened there. But he's not a 20-goal a season striker, and it was an odd choice for someone that you would hope would get the goals that would keep you up.
Yeah, well, he was brought in as a focal point to knit the team together, to do dirty work, and essentially to weaken Burnley at the same time, which seems like it has worked fairly well based on recent events. He's had periods of where he's played okay, and he's had a lot of periods where he's not done as well. I think he had to get up to the same fitness standard because obviously Burnley don't play the same way that we've been playing, and Wood did join quite late January, so it took him a while to get up to the pace that Eddie Howe wants, because he likes to play a 4-3-3, pressing in the final third, forever running, So it was hard for him initially.
Yeah.
But he's been okay. He's grabbed a couple of goals and he's improved as of late. He just needs to do a bit more. If he wants to cement himself as the squad target man for the next couple of seasons, which he does have left, he's got 2 years left on his contract at the end of this, when the summer comes around. If he wants to be that target man, he needs to keep producing these performances.
Yeah.
He's on 2 goals at the moment. We could do with a few more before the season ends, to be fair, but yeah.
Does he? Because is he a bit? Cause like we have the same thing with Inacho. He came from Man City with, he was going to be the new golden boy. He scored every time he touched the ball, and it took him a while to settle in at Leicester.
It did.
When we play him now, he's very much. He did supply the goals. When we played him at the end of last season, 2 up front with Vardy, he was our top goal scorer last season. Unfortunately, Brendan's gone back to just wanting the 1 up front. But he's very much, he holds the ball up, does Inacho, where, completely different to Vardy. And is that the sort of role that Chris Wood does for you? Does he hold the ball? Because he's quite a big guy, holds the ball up for other players to run onto?
And I wish I could say yes, but not at the moment. He's been quite poor with his hold-up play, more so than Callum Wilson, which is a shame because that's what we were expecting from him. He's great at winning. He's great at winning aerial duels, but very frequently they don't lead to anything. It's flick-ons to people. It's flick-ons to a runner that's gone the wrong way, basically. And he does struggle to hold the ball up with his feet as well. It's improved a bit in the recent games, but it's considering it is literally his job as a target man to do those several things correctly. He does need to step up with that. I care less about him scoring and more about him just doing those things correctly, because other people can score.
Well, we're the same with Inacho, but talk to me about Shelvey, because at one point he was, when you signed him, he top of his game, and then I don't hear many nice things being said about him from the Newcastle fans.
Recently, much better.
Right.
I've been saying on recent shows, I'm very, very sad that Shelvey is 30. I think he's just turned 30. It's very unfortunate we've missed his peak, because I feel like if Shelvey was 26, 27 right now under what's happening, I think he'd be incredible with extra legs, extra bit of pace. It's just a bit of a shame it's come at the wrong time for him, because when he gets some space on the ball, with his improved fitness this season, he's had the armband on a few times. He's been incredible. If people give him space, he will play 10 long balls a game, every single game, and he will put it on a pin. And he's improved the bits of his game that we disliked as fans. He's improved a lot of that. He shields better. He's fitter. He runs more. He was doing some final third pressing and left wing last week against Wolves. And he's the shield. So it's great to see from him. And even in the win over Brighton a few weeks ago, he felt he had a poor performance and he came out and apologised, even though we won the match. That's the standard he set himself, and Eddie Howe sets the players. It's great to see. It's just a shame he's not 3 or 4 years younger, because I think he could have gone with us through the whole project. But hopefully he can give us something.
Yeah, I mean. Eddie Howe, that's the thing with Eddie Howe. He seems to, yes, players have been brought in, but he seems to be having an effect on those players that you already had there that maybe were underperforming.
Yeah, Emil Kraft, our right back today, I am a bit terrified of him lining up against Lookman and Dewsbury Hall on the left. And Thomas is obviously I'm quite scared of your left side today. But Kraft is one that I had completely written off, completely disregarded him as a Premier League standard player. Didn't think he was good enough. I still think he's got to prove a lot, but he's had 5 or 6 games recently where he has played at a Premier League level. So a lot of people have had to apologise and hold their hands up. Fingers crossed he can keep giving those performances. But realistically, he was a £4 million purchase as a Swedish player. So I don't think we've done too badly for what we've got out of him. So
no. Looking at the Leicester team, it pretty much It's about 95% what I picked. I mean, Schmeichel picks himself, to be honest with you. It's a whole new back four. So it's not any of the back four that played against PSV midweek. We've got Justin at right back, Thomas at left back, and a Martin Soyuncu in the middle. And it's actually great that we can now swap all our back four and still have a decent team out there. We've had sort of hardly any defenders available all season, but Martin Soyuncu did well against Palace last week. Tielemans, I'm surprised at all. I don't know whether he'll do the full 90 or not because he did play midweek, but he's very much back. And because Mendy, who's in there, we've got he's injured. Mendy is very much the defensive midfielder, but he isn't, unfortunately, in our European squad. So Tielemans has to fill in that role, and that kind of sort of stops his creativity and stops him going forward. But nice to see Mendy back, and again, he's not let us down since he came in. Barnes and Lookman, they'll probably be swapping sides quite a bit. Barnes didn't have the best of games. He started midweek, wasn't the best of games. He was taken off. Daka, I thought he was going to start this game because he's very much the Vardy type of player. Hit the ball over and run onto it. The big surprise there. What is the? I'm just having a look here because I think they've updated it from what I'm seeing. Is that my team that it's brought up on one screen is completely different to the team I'm looking at here.
Oh, really?
Oh, I did tell you it was going to be one of those days, didn't I?
Yeah, they've got no. The team
I'll just go home and start again. Yeah,
it is correct. Lookman, Perez.
Yeah. Perez, I mean, sorry, yeah. So Dewsbury Hall, amazing. I mean, he got his first goal against Palace. He's coming through. Lookman on loan. Hopefully, we will sign him. And he's a really good player. And
he looks good the other night when he came on.
Yeah, he can play other side. Now Perez. Now Perez.
All too well.
Yes, I mean we've still got the receipt if you'll take him back. No,
probably not. No.
No. Yeah, I have made a promise to all the Leicester fans that I will try and every Newcastle fan I speak to try and get somebody that will actually say yes. They'll take him back.
If his contract was expiring, I'd take him back on a free because he improves our quality and our depth. But I wouldn't pay a transfer fee for him because we could do better. So
yes, I think that's how most Leicester fans feel, to be honest with you. But he came on with about 20 minutes to go against Eindhoven. We were 1-0 down, and he did kind of change the game, to be honest with you. And he set Maddison up for the first goal. The problem I find with Perez is, I mean, when he came in, he's not a right winger. That's really not his best position, I don't think. I think he's better off for sort of a number 10, but very few teams seem to play with a number 10 now. They have the false nine, what have you. But if we do, he's got Maddison in front of him. So he's always played out of position. But he doesn't produce. I mean, we played earlier in the season. I think we were playing West Ham, and he got sent off. The joke going around was that we'd appeal to the FA to extend his ban, and they wouldn't. But like I say, eat humble pie midweek, but he just doesn't do it on a regular basis. You do.
It was the same for us Newcastle fans. He was one of our most exciting players to watch because he could turn up one day and do a couple of Rabonas and no look passes and score 2 goals, and he'd be unplayable, and he'd look like he'd be top 4, top 6 quality, and he looked incredible. And then for the next 2 to 3 weeks, it'd be a shadow of himself, and he just wouldn't track. His dribbles wouldn't come off. His tricks wouldn't come off. It was very hot and cold. He is a strange player, very, very strange player, where he looks like he's got that talent, but he just can't channel it consistently enough. And that's the reason you paid the transfer fee, is because for the final sort of 6 months under Rafa Benitez, he found that consistency and he looked incredible behind Rondon. He was playing as sort of a shadow striker. Like you said, he's being played out of position at Leicester. He was very good with a big man in front of him. and he was unplayable, and he's just not. He can't find that consistency. I love Perez, I really do, because I think on his days he's incredible, but he doesn't have many of them days. Unfortunately, it's very hot and cold.
It is, and like I say, we have been finding that out. I mean, for me, I think he'll be going in the summer. Unfortunately, he hasn't been getting on of recent. Even when we've struggled, Rodgers has preferred other players, and we thought, oh, maybe finally Brendan's seeing what we've been seeing. But like I say, you doubt your managers sometimes, and yet they come on, and like I say, the other night he pulled it off. But I think to me, this is a big game for him because he's up against his old team. He's just had a brilliant 20 minutes and saying helped us beat to get through to the semis of the Europa Conference. Got to get it all out. If he doesn't perform today, then I'm really wondering what his future is at Leicester.
I mean, that side in itself is it. The two sides. There's battles all across the pitch, but Perez's side, that's going to be tough for him because Tielemans has been poor of late.
Yeah.
And I feel like he's going to really struggle against Joe Linton and Guimaraes in midfield. I feel like Dewsbury Hall versus Guimaraes is going to be very good as well against our Bruno. But I just feel like that side with Perez and Tielemans, Justin's going to got his work cut out because they're going to have to keep. You're going to have to keep men on Maxi because we know he can run into traffic a lot. But if you give him too much space, he will just go and do magic. So you've got to treat him with some respect. And Joe Linton and Matt Targett are very, very, very solid. Matt Targett has been a very solid left back, so they've got their work cut out on that right side. It might be a case of trying to switch to the left with Lookman and Dewsbury Hall being a bit more energetic and a bit more having a bit more substance, possibly. So I am more concerned about the other side for us. I think that's your stronger side. So Almiron's going to have to do his running about. But it's a very interesting two sets of teams. Battles all across the pitch. Definitely.
I mean, I think I'll just say a few hellos. Hi to Scott. How are you, sir? Welcome along. Fingers crossed for today. I think the players are just warming up now as we see it. I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce this one. He obviously knows yourself. So good afternoon, and I do apologize. I'd sooner just not pronounce it than pronounce it and make a complete mess of it. And he says, hello, I'm doing very well. Ask me again in 90 minutes. It might be different. And Tina Saffron, nice to see Alex, Toon fan here. I think the Toon fans are outnumbering the Leicester fans at the moment. Welcome along, Tina. Thanks for joining us. Scott, not going to lie, Chris, not sure about starting 11, but hoping the tactics from Brendan will prove me wrong. I was just saying then, Scott, I don't know if you heard what your thoughts. Give us your thoughts on Perez, because for me, that's the big question mark, as it always is when he plays. He had that great game, when he came on for 20 minutes. Is this sort of, is Perez basically drinking at the last chance saloon? It'll be very interesting to see the sort of game he has and how Brendan reacts to him if he doesn't perform. But this was our form going into the game, both sets here. You had been on a good run. And I know you beat Wolves last time out, but you'd had a couple of reverses, not big ones, but the big surprise for me there was, because I say you had started to turn it round, you had been on a good run, and then you lost to Everton.
Yeah, I mean, there's context in those defeats. The Chelsea game, we ran them for 88 minutes. We were denied a clear penalty, and Havertz shouldn't have been on the pitch. He elbowed Dan Burn in the face. He elbowed a 6'7" guy in the face, so his elbow is not obviously a fair height. So the Chelsea game was very difficult to take. That was, we should have won it, never mind drawn it. The Everton one, well played to Everton. It was a horrible game. We had a lot of illness, a lot of people missing. We had the protester invade the pitch to tie himself to the goalposts. It was difficult that was a difficult match to. We couldn't get any rhythm. It was very stop-start. It was very hostile, but Goodison Park made it that way, so fair enough to their fans. And Tottenham was 100% our fault. that time. We capitulated. The lads tried to stay in a 4-3-3 and attack Tottenham. They tried to be a bit too aggressive against, and that you can't do that when you've got Harry Kane and Son, who when they turn up, if they turn up, they put 5 past you, and they did. So, we lost that one fair and square. But we stuck with the same tactics, and we respected Wolves a bit more. Because obviously Wolves play the same formation as Tottenham. And we did very well. We did a lot better against them. Bruno in midfield managed to pocket Moutinho for the whole game, as he pocketed Kante against Chelsea as well. So he's been an absolute magician in midfield. I'm stunned by how good he is in midfield. So the form isn't a huge true reflection of how we've played, because we've played well in a few of those games. And we played much better against the Wolves game. And we've had a lot of illness in recent weeks. Eddie Howe keeps mentioning there's a lot of illness going around the camp. And you can see it in Joe Linton and Willock, a few niggles and a few illnesses. Shelvey was out ill. The lads are just trying to get to the end of the season, because it's been a real slog since Christmas. And they're struggling a bit.
No, I mean, tell me about it. Been there, seen it. Got the T-shirt this year with illnesses.
Yeah, you guys have. The same
injured player, and credit to Brendan, because he's never actually come out and blamed that. And and I know there was a lot of people earlier in the season that were that were critical of Brendan, even wanting him out. And yes, I was critical with some of the substitutions and decisions he made, but looking back, as I say, the injuries he's had, 23 over 23 injuries, 9 defenders injured at some point during the season. If he got us to a European semi-final and gets us top 10, that's not been a bad season for us, But
I think he's had a few underperformers and a lot of injuries. So Perez and Tielemans and other players, Soyuncu's form dipped, and the added injuries. It's been a wobbly season. Maybe they've highlighted the manager too much. I don't know. This is from an outside perspective looking in. I don't know all the ins and outs of whether he's made tactical mistakes. But from what I've seen, it seems to be just a bit unlucky for certain reasons. I would, if I was a Leicester fan, I'd probably give him another season. No doubt about it. To see, because next year it's very unlikely you'll have as many injuries next season. So I think give him a fair crack at next season to see what he can do with a little bit more depth, fewer injuries, see if he can push. And then maybe reevaluate after the following season.
It was Clinton Morrison, the ex-player, that said on BBC when we were talking about this, and they said, judge Brendan when he's got all his players fit.
Yeah, I agree.
And because we know when he's got all the players fit, he wins us the FA Cup and the Community Shield, or as I like to call it, of course, the English Super Cup. Hopefully he's going to be here for a long time. Like I said, with what he's managed this season, with what's been happening, I've criticised him, but I've never actually wanted him out. But I mean, if you look at ours, you can, our performances have been improving, and it's coincided with all the players coming back. That's the good thing. We beat Leeds 1-0. We lost to Arsenal. Well, we do that every season, so that was kind of a given.
So do we at the moment.
Yeah, we beat Brentford, who obviously have gone on since then on a good win. So that actual win now looks better than we probably thought at the time. We should have beaten Man United if it wasn't for VAR. How often has every
I watched that game as well. That was an awful shame. Yeah, you got robbed of 3 points there.
Yeah, well, and of course, I say we beat Palace with all the changes last time out. So, yeah, I'm confident going into this game, and I think I'd prefer to have played the Newcastle that was under Steve Bruce. I think every player would say that. But I think you'd have preferred to play the Leicester from earlier in the season as well, when we were having all the injuries.
Not necessarily. I'm quite happy with the squad today. There's a few of your fans in chat have mentioned the lineup, and I agree. I'm skeptical of the lineup. I'm happy that Maddison's not playing. I'm happy that Barnes isn't playing. Those are players that can hurt us more so than the starting 11 currently. So if I got to pick as an opposition fan, if I could pick your starting 11, I'd pick that. Because I think that's an easier starting 11 for us to play against than what could be available.
be careful, because that's what Palace were thinking, you know.
Oh
But,
yeah, well, you've
you
still
know,
got a lot of quality. There's no reason
yeah.
why you couldn't beat us today at all. I mean, it's
No.
you know.
It's an interesting game. I think it could go either way, to be honest with you. I mean, Facebook user there, Daco, has missed a lot of opportunities recently, hoping he can start to come good. Yes, but sometimes you buy a player, and then especially when they're coming from another country, they're coming to a whole new culture, and it can take them a while to settle. Look at Sumari; he's taking that bit longer to settle in. Daka, I mean, he got 4 against Moscow. We know what he can do, but obviously in the Premier League, it's a bit different. Fofana, though, I mean, when we bought him and we put him in, my God, it's like, he took like a duck to water, literally, So I think Daka's will slowly start to come good. I can call him KV apparently, which is a lot easier. Thank you very much. And hello to Pete. Thanks for popping in. Alex says, VK. Oh God, let me get my teeth in today. What am I doing? KV said, Alex, are you going to be here throughout the whole watch along? Hopefully you will be.
Yeah.
And Scape Stream is St. Maximum fit. He's playing, so I'm presuming he is. Alex,
he is. He was out for a while. He came back with a couple of 20-minute sub appearances. He's played a couple of full matches now, and he's ready.
Yes.
Hopefully, we'll get a bit more out of him today.
Yeah, he is one of the, probably the one I fear most. Scott says, Chris, to be fair, Perez always tries to put in a shift, albeit can be pushed off the ball quite easily, but has some skill. Hoping he has a great day, perfectly gets a hat trick. That would be nice, but I think you might get a bit of the 5,000 to 1 odds on that happening. I mean, Perez. I'll give Perez his credit and give him his due. He hasn't at any time come out and moaned. And he posts pictures on his Instagram of him at the training ground and the gym, and his lack of game time. There's players out there that would be coming out and posting cryptic messages on Instagram, etc. But he's always seems to be giving 100%, certainly behind the scenes.
Yeah, I mean, it's difficult for him to moan because Maddison and Harvey Barnes have been very good this season. So there are players in front of him that are performing. If it was everybody kind of being a bit mediocre, then maybe he would have a case to whinge. But he's had poor performances and other players in his positions are performing. So he's just kind of got to crack on with it, hasn't he? He doesn't have much of a choice.
He has, but then, I remember the likes of Damari Gray. It never kind of stopped him moaning.
Well, that's true. Perez does his talk. He tries to do his talking on the pitch so he can put his fingers in his ears. That's what he tends to do. As long as he doesn't do it to us today if he scores, because he won't be leaving St James's Park in a very happy way if he does that.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, you're wearing the wrong colour stripes for him. He likes the red and white ones of Southampton, doesn't he? He always seems to get a few against them. I'm just trying to find out. Oh, here we go. Maddison and Barnes are on the subs bench. Along with Inacho. In fact, most of the team that started, Ricardo, Evans, Castagna, Maddison, Barnes, Inacho, they're all on the subs bench, so they're there. And it's great from a Leicester point of view, because we've always said...
Such good depth.
Yeah, exactly. And, a lot of people have said, you bottled top 4 in the last couple of seasons. And I said, well, we didn't bottle top 4. We did really well to get to 5th for Leicester. But we have, we always bemoaned having that squad depth.
I mean, if you compare it to ours, we've got Dwight Gale, Lascelles, Dummett, Matt Ritchie. We don't have a particularly great bench. So, your bench sounds incredible compared to what we've got.
I was going to say, I'm going to say good afternoon to Doug. Hope you are well, sir. Congratulations on getting through to the final yesterday. I'm sure the quadruple is still on for you, mate. The quadruple is still on for you. I was going to say that's something you've got to look at, isn't it? And we were talking yesterday, I think, on the Toon review. It's going to be very, very hard for Maddison. What am I saying? For Eddie Howe, because you're going to need players in. There's a lot of, dead wood there that you'll need to sort of get rid of. But you've got to be careful that, you're not buying big names and they're coming just because you're offering them good money, which obviously you can do. and B, that even if you're going for sort of the next level downs, what I would call sort of the top of players that we would go for, that you're not being added on another couple of million just because you happen to be Newcastle United now.
Yeah, well, I think that's going to happen anyway, unfortunately. But we do have a unique thing to offer. It depends on who finishes in which European places, because unfortunately, West Ham and Arsenal seem to have an identical shopping list to us, which is a bit of a shame. So a lot of us are hoping that Tottenham secures that Champions League place, because that will help us in the transfer market for sure. But there's a lot of deadwood. And I say deadwood, that's very harsh to a lot of players that have done it. They've been incredible servants to the club during poor times and done very well. But ultimately, we need to improve the squad. And I think we're in a unique situation where I think we're in an exciting team to go to, because it's very commonly known that Amanda Stavley's gone and visited the Man City training grounds. She's interested in building everything the right way. Not in the way that like Everton have done it, for example. They're interested in copying the City blueprint to a degree, and it's an interesting project for new players. You know, City have got their own shopping lists, and other teams around the top, apart from Liverpool and City, everybody's in a bit of disarray right now. Manchester United, is there going to be a rebuild? Is there not? What's happening with Chelsea? Spurs have got Conte in a specific way of playing. Arsenal have already got their own sort of little bit of rebuild going. It's a bit, who do you go to? Who do you not go to? And the thing with Newcastle is we can sell the dream of, if you come and be our main man, will be the poster person of our rebuild, of our project, and you will be a superstar in 5 years' time. So other teams like West Ham and Arsenal can't necessarily offer that. Whereas, it is a bit of a ifs and buts situation. But we there is the funding available to do that, despite what the media are saying.
Is the famous shirt the number 10 shirt that your heroes always were? Number 9, is it?
Yeah,
number
Alan
9.
Shearer. So it's always 9.
Yeah. I mean, that's a very good point. Whatever you say about Newcastle, and from my point of view, I say good luck with the takeover and the money. Go get it and go smash the big 6 arses, if you like. I hope you really do it. And I think for other teams' fans to criticise you getting money in when they're the big 6, I think is a bit sort of two-faced. But hey, there we go. Jan Walker says, "Great to see Alex. You need to be headhunted, apparently." Away there, I can't even do a Newcastle accent, but away the tune there for you.
Thank you.
And KV again. I think today's game is going to be a close 1-0 win to the Toon. And Scott says, hoping Amati and Justin can keep ASM in their back pocket. Yeah, that would be rather nice, wouldn't it, Scott? Now, talking of scores, because we're about 5 minutes now off kickoff. The players will be appearing soon. Let's just have a look at this. Now, I do a score, a score league, score prediction league on the website, lcfc.com, and we've got all the ex-players that join me there and do that. Now, this is our predictions. I've gone for 3-1 to Leicester, but then don't worry about that, Alex, because I'm bottom of the table at the moment. So don't think that I'm going to get these things right. Ian Marshall has gone 1-1. Steve Walsh has gone 2-1 to Leicester. Jerry Taggart, though, has gone 2-1 to Newcastle. Steve Lynitz has said 1-1, and Ian Wilson's agreed with me on 3-1. How do you see? What's your prediction?
So my prediction on the preview show was 2-1 to Leicester.
Wow!
But it was quite a safe prediction. I think we are very, very, very difficult to beat at home nowadays.
Yes,
very tough to beat at home. The players, and it does completely depend on which players turn up. The only the reason for the score prediction is based on 3 or 4 of the lads underperforming due to illness and knocks recently. But if they don't suffer from that today, if they turn up without the illness and the knocks, if they give that energy, if they play how they can play, I think we will win 2-3-1 comfortably. But if 2 or 3 of the big puzzle pieces don't turn up again, then I think you will win. I think it's down to players like Joe Linton and Shelvey being fit, and then I feel like we can win the key battles. So it's about winning the key battles, especially with set pieces as well. I do feel like you're there to be got at with the set pieces with Dan Burn and Chris Wood. I feel like we've got a lot of different weapons, a lot of tools in the toolbox. So, but it depends on who turns up, because we're not playing as well as we were in our big unbeaten run, because some of the lads have sort of tapered off fitness wise, and there's a few knocks.
Yeah. Right, I think the fans are about to the fans are about to come out. Honestly, what is wrong with me today? I haven't even had a drink yet. The teams are about to come out. I mean, I'm just looking at the pictures there, and it's I mean, the support you get at the at St James's Park is amazing, isn't it?
Oh, it's I haven't seen anything like it for a very, very, very long time. It's incredible. Some of the home games. Pretty much every time we win at home, the opposition's fans keep tweeting us saying, "Oh, it looks like they've won a trophy," because the stadium is just incredible. It's such a good atmosphere. You get thousands of people walking up to the stadium together, old people, young people, families, kids on shoulders. It's just a giant family that walk up to the one club, one stadium in the city. We've got War Flags as well, who do an amazing job at providing all the great big flags that anybody can pick up and wave. We even had Murdad, one of our co-owners, waving on one of our flags. It's incredible. The atmosphere is so different compared to what it used to be. It's amazing. I'm so lucky to support a club that has a stadium and fans like that.
Yes. Right, I'm just seeing what I can get up here with the games, and we'll see. For the start, we'll just start off and do it this way. So just bear with me 1 second, and I will hopefully get things up and running.
Till I Die Watchalong show. Join in the chat and don't forget to subscribe.
Okay, and it's working to a degree. I'm just going to see if I can get. Last week I got some live action up. I don't know where that has gone to.
Going to do a quick toilet break before we strap in for the 90 minutes.
Yeah, no problem. Where are we? Right. Right. Let's. So just bear with me, guys, and they're just all doing the hugs pre-match and what have you. So I'm just looking at trying to get this live commentary up for you. No, I don't want slides. Madison's warming up there. And here we go. And we have kicked off. So we got bubbles blowing. I thought we were at West Ham for a minute. Oh no, that's the West Ham Burnley. They're just having a quick look at that. Honestly, I don't know what's wrong with me today, guys. If we win, I'm going to be absolutely. Well, I can't talk now, but Jeff, hi, how the devil are you? Welcome along. 2-1 Leicester. Not the live match here, showing the West Ham game. You struggled, Jeff. Try his goal got TV. His goal got TV, and you should. I don't know if you can get that out there, but then you should be able to watch it on that. Super fast Dazza. Hello, Dazza. Dazza's in the house. if you are in the sort of comment bit and you are probably might be ahead of us, I don't know. Just try to sort of not get not announce it until we've seen it here. That's the point. I'm on 25 seconds, so I know I'm a bit behind already. Alex, what are you on?
I'm a few seconds ahead, so you'll
Right.
see some stuff. I'll keep my emotions down. I'll try and let you catch up with the.
So it's when you're about 3 minutes behind. That's the that's
No,
the
I think I'm
trouble.
about 30 seconds, so it's not too bad.
Right. I'm just going to turn my phone off because otherwise it beeps and you think there's a goal and it's a yellow card or something. Right. Oh, it's a free kick already to Newcastle.
Yeah, high pressing from Almiron there. Marty yellow card straight away. That's interesting.
Right. Here we go. So, bear with me just while they're taking this. I'll remove that. It hasn't been our best things, corners and free kicks this season. Right, here we go. And it's Shelby to take it. Oh, straight at Casper. Well, Casper had to sort of dive a little bit to his left. So here we go. Right. I'm hoping at some point it's an injury. Bloody hell.
Yeah, we'll take that in the opening minute though. A yellow card for a centre back and a testing the keeper.
Yes. I mean, when you come to think he's now got 89 minutes when he can't do anything wrong, is a bit it's a bit scary. Do you tend to, because we tend to sort of Leicester, he has us playing it out from the back.
Oh dear.
Do you do that at Newcastle?
It's a combination of the two really, because we've got Chris Wood obviously standing up as the target man. It's a bit of both. It depends on the instructions at the time. Eddie Howe very much changes his instructions based on what's going on.
Yes.
Yeah, a bit of a clash there. Dan Burn looks
Yes.
a bit hurt. Hopefully he's okay. Not sure who he clashed with there.
His own player. The goalkeeper. He clashed with the goalkeeper there.
It's very concerning that they won't show the camera angle of Burn himself. That's kind of concerning when they don't show you the player.
Yes. Well, it doesn't. It is now. Oh, it's not actually. I hope he's all right. I'm guessing he is because the description on the right is still going.
Yeah, they were checking his collarbone and his shoulder.
Yeah.
Might
I
be
think
an injury.
is it Dubravnik, the goalkeeper? I think he sort of went up.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dubravnik. He actually went up and over your defender. So fingers crossed. Yes. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, your Daka sort of pulled him back so he couldn't turn. He couldn't move out of the way of the keeper. That's cheeky, that is. There's not a lot Burn could have done about that, really.
No. I'm going to say good luck to Broski, Eindhoven supporter who joined us post-match, was very magnanimous in defeat. His team are playing in about 3 hours' time in the Dutch equivalent of the FA Cup. So good luck to him on that. They're playing Ajax, so
all big game.
Oh, I don't think did he hold him back? I don't know if he held him back.
I think it just kind of prevented him from turning or getting out of the way of it. There's no fouls in there at all. It's just unfortunate.
Yeah, I don't think it was malicious or anything like that.
No, definitely not.
You know,
Daka can't control what the keeper does, so
no. And you'd be moaning if the keeper hadn't come out for it.
Yeah, there's some interesting long balls. You're playing them just short of the 18-yard box, and they're a bit difficult to deal with when they bounce like that.
Hmm.
Would actually manage to win a nice flick on for Maxi there, but came to nothing.
Yeah. Free kick. Yeah, pushing the back. I'm not going to lie. I am worried about that yellow card for Marty so early.
Yeah, I mean that is concerning because we've got a lot of runners with Almiron and Maxi, so he might need to take a professional foul, and he's not going to be able to.
Oh, Perez gets an offside. Is it an offside? Oh no, it's he shoulder barred the defender then. I'm going to be honest with you. I can remember. I'm older, and I can remember when that would not have been a foul. But you can't.
Yeah, the
you can't
game's
do
changed
anything
a lot, hasn't it? In the last, even the last 5 years, it's changed a lot.
Yeah, we have one of our channels, ITV4. It always shows like the big match from like the 70s, and they were showing a Chelsea game a few weeks ago. I think they were playing Charlton, and they were both in the second tier. And my God, the fouls that were going in, and yet there wasn't a card to be seen.
Yeah,
it's
even if you go back as recent as some of like Rooney's later games, some of the stuff happening there was crazy.
Yes. A little bit.
Strange opening few minutes. There's been a lot of us trying to get down the wings, but nothing coming to it. They keep kicking it out. They are a bit scared of. Well, they're respectful of Maxi and just kicking it out. So,
Jeff says there, Burn a great signing for Newcastle. Hope he will be okay.
Well, he looks like he's continued to play on. So
yeah, that's.
It's just it's nervous when it makes me nervous when the medical staff refuse to move a player. That's always quite concerning because if they're worried about neck injuries and stuff. So when they don't let them move, that worries me. But he seems fine.
Yeah, I think as well for us, I just get worried if a player goes down. There's another one out. Pretty even at the moment, I'd say.
Yeah, apart from your ball over the top, I'd say we've had most of it in terms of wing play and pressure. But I think it's been very stop-start. There's not enough in it to say anybody's really doing well enough.
No.
There's not been any quality sort of in the final third. It's just all been maybes and balls forward.
Yes.
But definitely using the wings, it's interesting.
And again, another push in the back. So Inchu, I know they say about taking one for the team, but when it's in the opposition half, there's no need for it. But yeah, it has been a bitty start, hasn't it?
Yeah, it is very scrappy, just bouncing backwards and forwards. People trying to find their feet, I think.
Yeah.
Everybody's struggling to get 5 or 6 passes together.
It's weird because there's not really much. I know you need, technically need another 3 points to stay up, but you're not going down. There's worse teams than you. There's 4 worse teams than you that I could name that will be going to go down. And we're kind of not going to get into Europe, by the league unless a miracle happens. And it's just like, it's got a bit of a, I don't know, it's just sort of like end of season game, really, hasn't it? Because there's nothing in it for either team.
Yeah, I mean, well, there is a little bit in it for us. It's, I mean, we have a difficult run in. We have got to play Liverpool, City, Arsenal, all in a row. We've got you today, so we've got hard games, and we do actually have Burnley on the final day of the season. So if Burnley win 3 or 4 on the trot from nowhere, and we stop picking up any points, you never know. But we should be fine. And secondly,
I can't see Burnley winning 3 or 4 in the row, though. That's the thing.
No, I agree. So it is a long shot. We should be fine, but you never know in football. And obviously, it would be nice to secure our safety as soon as possible, and then we can start looking at summer signings a bit earlier and contracts and renewals. It means we can start looking at those a bit sooner, which is always good.
Oh no, definitely. And it is currently still talking of Burnley. It's West Ham 0, Burnley 0 still at the moment.
Yeah, your attack seem to be trying to play a little diagonal ball to Daka or Lookman, trying to get them in on Fabian Schär as a 1v1 and a long ball, and that it does look a bit dangerous. If he loses one of those duels, then you're in. So we're playing a dangerous game there.
I must admit though, Eddie Howe has got a good record against us from when he was at Bournemouth. Oh, that's a bit of an up and over to Daka. Oh, being held off there. Good defending. Oh, it was Lookman, sorry. Good defending by your guys then. Pete says
this is what I mentioned. Daka and Lookman are trying to get into those little one-on-ones from the long balls.
Yeah. Pete says he wants Everton to go down. I think most neutrals would. I mean, I like to see, and no disrespect to Newcastle, when you went down last time, you know, for the big teams to go down and just give them a dose of reality. Or now Shelby's down, and then you get your teams like your Luton, your Sheffield United come up and give them a pop at it. But I would like to see Everton go down this season.
Yeah, I mean, the first time we went down, we were just mismanaged by Freddie Shepherd and the contracts and star players. We were mismanaged. I mean, we'd been in Europe 8 consecutive seasons before we went down for the first time, so we had a lot of good pedigree. And then Mike Ashley was just more interested in keeping the club in the Premier League for marketing and advertising for his own brands.
Yeah,
that was all he cared about. So the second relegation wasn't a massive surprise because he was just doing the bare minimum to keep us in the league.
Yeah. Yes.
Whereas that's not the case anymore. There's ambition, the same as what sort of your owners are doing as well.
Yeah. Like I say, I'd love you to sort of, and I think with your backing that you can give the so-called, the Sky Big Six a run for the money, and I really, really hope you do.
Yeah, it's been a shame Leicester have dropped off this season because I was expecting you to be well in it for sort of top 4, top 6, and it's just been just not fallen right, unfortunately.
No, it's been the sort of the injuries and what have you. It's not helped, but that's well over everybody. Yeah, I mean, I think everybody. Oh God, Luke, everybody. I think had us down for like 5th again.
I think it will happen next season. I wouldn't worry too much. I think it was just a bit of a blip.
I mean, everybody has one of those seasons, and it's out of our hands with what was happening off the field. Brendan Rodgers didn't want to keep changing his formations. He had to for the depending on what players he'd got. But
it is a bit of a missed opportunity, I guess, though, because of how Arsenal underperformed for the first part of the season. Tottenham underperformed. Yes. Manchester United are in a bit of a horrible situation. Ronaldo keeps bailing them out. So this was your season really to just go and push for that, to just go and nab that 4th place. So it's a shame it's not materialised. West Ham obviously have capitalised as well.
Yeah, we have to take I mean, we've been in worse positions than this, so can't complain too much. I mean, we're further in Europe than ever before, so
how far did you get in your Champions League season from after the title win? I think it was it Sevilla quarterfinals?
It was quarterfinals. We got knocked out by Atletico.
Oh, it was Atletico, was it?
Yes. Yeah. It was tight, but I mean, it was quite funny because that was the season that Arsene Wenger said we would be an embarrassment to the Premier League. And it was also the season that he lost 10-2 to, I think it was Bayern Munich over 2 legs. So I would like to say, who was the embarrassment there, Arsene? I mean, it was great times. We were the last English team sort of left in it and everything. It was great. Oh, that's a nice ball. Dewsbury Hall going forward. What's he going to do here? He's got it to down. Oh, no. That last ball all the time. No, now we've lost it. It's gone. We've lost the momentum. Yeah, that's the thing with Leicester this season. We have good breaks. Oh, I think you got a free kick. I think your goalkeeper went up and completely missed it. I think you got a free kick.
Yeah, that was a funny one. We're both very wobbly here. Nobody wants to go behind first, but both teams trying to get the equaliser at the same time. It's a funny one. It seems quite open.
Daka blocked. Daka stopped him jumping there. Or the goalkeeper jumped into him, whichever one you want to say.
Yeah, our press is working very well, to be fair. We've robbed the ball a lot. Schmeichel's constantly got 1 or 2 men on him when he's on the ball. So we'll see if that pays off for us.
Yes. If you are watching, by the way, in real life, we are playing from left to right, Leicester, not right to left, I think, as it possibly shows on the screen. I think that's just the way. I don't think they can actually change. I think they just set it for the match, to be honest with you. As the away team, we're going from right to left on the graphics, I believe, by the look of it. Cornerkin's corner for you.
Yeah, we have struggled against you in recent seasons at home, unfortunately. The last person to score a winner against you at St James's Park was Gabriel Overton. That's how long ago it was.
Bloody hell.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's five games unbeaten.
Yeah, we've got a poor record against you guys at home at the moment.
Yes.
It's a hoodoo we're trying to break.
Yeah. I'm just wondering how far behind the text we are. So Leicester on a break. Oh, neat play. The ball goes out wide. Daka's on it. It comes in. And it is out. Oh, Leicester fighting back. Leicester got it back. Oh, that's a nice little clip. That is a nice little chip, that one. It goes in, and it's out for a Leicester corner. I'm not sure. I'm really confused because of what it's saying on the graphics. Yes. Maybe we're about to see. So it's a corner on here from Dewsbury Hall. Everybody's holding hands in the box. Oh, short corner, low one. Yes! Lookman.
I said I was concerned about Lookman today.
You did. I'm sorry. I have to do this. I'm contractually obliged to do this. Sorry, mate. For once, we've scored from a corner. Oh, well, your goalkeeper could have stopped that, I think. It went under his body.
Yeah, man on the front post. And there was a lot we could have done to try and stop that there. That was it was a good strike. He still had to hit the target, but that was
I think it was a good corner. I've not seen us do that corner. Like I say, we're very susceptible from corners, but yeah, because it was a shortish corner, but it was on the ground, and I think that probably fooled a lot of people. But
we haven't conceded that way for a very long time. That's a strange one to concede. Normally we concede with like a centre back header as an additional man that we lose him. So that's a poor goal to concede. Eddie Howe's not going to be happy about that.
No,
because that's preventable. Tactically, that's preventable. So he's going to be raging. But it was a good strike.
I think you would. I think you'd be disappointed if you'd conceded that goal. And of course, the bad news is, and I'm sorry, but Perez got the assist.
Yeah, definitely. It was
I'm
well
sorry,
worked.
I just want to know what he's been eating, Perez. I really do. Where has this Perez been all season?
Yeah, so it was Matt Targett, our left back, that didn't follow Perez in fast enough. And then all of our lads just got caught watching inside the 6-yard box. Shelby couldn't push out fast enough. Good movement. Very good movement, to be fair. Well worked.
It is. I haven't seen us do that before. I'm not going to lie. I don't feel comfortable at 1-0. They're just showing it again now. So yeah, the goal corner low into the box. Perez flicks it back, and Lookman just. I mean, Perez. Oh, it was a back heel. Bloody hell, Perez.
This is what I said. Sometimes he turns on the Rabonas, and sometimes he goes missing for 2 games. He's a funny one.
For every one of those that comes off, 9 don't. In fairness, but
Matt Targett's trying to get his revenge. That's the thing. Matt Targett's had him in his pocket with every minute except the corner that they've just scored from. So,
well, yeah, it's all. They say it's all about chances, isn't it? And
it is. Yeah, got to do it when it counts.
Yeah. I'm still not going to deny that I've got a little taste of maybe Europe via the league.
Well, you've got games in hand, haven't you? So if you keep winning, it's you never know.
Well, we've got 3 games in hand. Oh, he did try to get his own back, didn't he? There. So you're behind us, Jeff, who is a regular watcher, and it's lovely to have you again, Jeff. Here, he's based in the Philippines. And normally when we're watching live, he actually is ahead of us, actually in the Philippines, and it's weird, but he's behind. Are you watching it, Jeff? Have you actually got it on now? I think Newcastle need a couple of seasons to build before they can challenge for the top 6. Leicester will be there or thereabout next season. But as I say, I think the Newcastle owners they understand that. You know, and I think they've got their head screwed on. I think they're going to do it the right way, which is build slowly, rather than just throw money at it. Like you said at the start, Alex.
I'm not so sure it's going to take that long. I mean, if you take our form since sort of the beginning of January, since the lads got up to Eddie Howe's pace and we brought in a couple of players, our league form has been we were first in the league form for a very long time. So we're playing at sort of an 8th or 9th place team's sort of points accumulation right now since January in 2022. And if we go and add 4 or 5 players to that in the summer, I don't think it's going to take as long as people think necessarily. Not necessarily saying we're going to break into the top 6, but at least sort of try and finish between 6th and 10th and challenge and be annoying, especially with the amount of free transfers that are available, like top quality free transfers this summer as well. There's a lot of signatures floating around, so we could bring in 2 or 3 quality players before we even pay a transfer fee in theory.
Good God, that had me worried. Your player fell at the last minute. I think he slipped. That was a good move by you. And I think if you hadn't slipped, I think you would have. It would have been a good effort.
This is very open at both sides. I think both managers are going to be angry because it's too open. We're having chances at both ends. This could be 2-2. This could be 1-1. It could be 1-0 either side. There's far too many chances for both of us right now. It's very open.
Which is nice to see. Let's be honest with you. Certainly, I suppose from the neutrals' point of view.
Yeah, definitely.
I tell you what, I did see earlier. Apparently Arsenal are in talks with Tielemans, and I mean here we go again, because of course they were in talks with Maddison this time last season, which of course was never took place. Oh, Yuri, that's why your value's going down. That was nearly. I think we were aiming for the corner post there, but apparently it's going to be Man United or Arsenal, which is funny because he wants Champions League football, and neither of them are in the Champions League football place at the moment. But they did mention, with Yuri Tillemans, they did mention Newcastle.
That's interesting. I've not seen the link to that. I don't know how he would fit in with our system or.
To be honest with you, it was on the sort of Leicester Mercury, which is our version of your Chronicle, and it's lazy journalism sometimes, because you know if I put something up saying somebody's for sale, you know, they could probably link that as well. So it's never always sort of top, you know, guaranteed to be true, but certainly
everybody's linking players with this. We're basically, if there's ever any speculation around a transfer, we get mentioned basically.
Yes.
Apart from, you know, the top players, apart from your Haalands and Mbappe's, and anything under that bracket, we just keep getting mentioned all the time.
Yeah, you're bound to, really, isn't it? You know. Oh, corner. Hey, Perez, he's on it today, Perez. I'm not going to lie, he's pretty well on it. Fair play to him.
This is end to end at the moment. This is.
It's
a cracking game. Oh, he didn't get the ball. Did he get the ball? I need to see that again. I missed it.
I'm on 26-28 at the moment.
I can't see my clock because it's.
Oh, Maximum is away. Nobody's with him though. Nobody's supporting him. Oh, good tackle. Good tackle.
So your commentary there has just summed up Maxi and the fans' opinions of him. He's on his own, but people will criticise that run because he didn't score from it or he lost the ball. People won't mention the fact that he was on his own on the counter attack.
Yeah, nobody with him. He was there, like you say, totally alone. He had nobody to pass for. He'd got 2 City defenders on him, and Dewsbury Hall, thankfully, got the tackle right, just on the box.
Yeah, it's a shame he doesn't have much support on the counter attack. We do need another quality winger up there with him, because Almiron and Murphy just aren't quite there, or Fraser.
Wood's not the quickest, is he?
Well, this is another issue. If Wood does the flick onto Maxi, who does Maxi pass to?
Yeah,
because his centre forward's been left having done the flick on. We just need a bit more around him in the attack. But he does look hungry today. He's making a lot of runs. He's been very energetic. So I can definitely see more goals in this game from both sides, to be fair.
Yes. As things stand at the moment, I think it would be foolish for me to sort of think it's going to end 1-0.
I can't see them playing at this pace for much longer because both teams are playing an absolutely lightning pace. Everybody's just crazy on the counter attacks, lots of sprints, high energy. So, you know, as we come up to half an hour, there's got to be a drop in pace from somebody.
I mean, I'm
very
just
high.
pleased that, you know, we've been able to make those changes from the team that played midweek. Oh, gave the ball away again. I must admit, I mean, the difference I've noticed here, I think if you'd have been the Newcastle of old, as in under Steve Bruce, you could have crumpled.
Yeah, there's a lot more character and quality. They've remembered that they're professional footballers. They've remembered their quality.
Yes. Oh, good ball. Newcastle crossing into the box. Oh, it's ping-ponging. Is it a corner? Yes, it's been given as a corner. Yeah, and it's nice to see, you know, because like you say, you know, that was the thing I noticed on a lot of Newcastle shows when I was watching them, was they were moaning about the lack of effort. And, you know, I think fans, we accept losing. I don't like that look on your face.
I'm not giving anything away for the Watchalong. You'll see in a second. Some scrambling in the box from our recent pressure from the corner.
The ball's gone in the net. Oh, well, I'm confused.
I'm struggling to see where that foul is. I'm not going to lie. I can't see where the foul is. He doesn't kick Schmeichel. It seems pretty clean to me. I'd be surprised if this gets ruled out. I mean, unless I'm not seeing it right.
It doesn't. I mean, he was kicking the ball. In fairness.
Yeah. Does he kick Schmeichel? Not really. Are you allowed to do that?
Well, if they say he's offside for that as well, you'll be unlucky.
Yeah. This is one of those things that it's down to the nitty gritty, how the rules are written exactly, isn't it? It's difficult as fans to know exactly what's. As an eye test, I'd say that seems fine, but I'm not sure.
I think they're also possibly looking at an earlier, or the referee's going to look at it. They're looking at, I think, the earlier foul. Maybe somebody was climbing on a Marty.
Yeah, they were looking at Byrne. But I mean, he's 6'7". He looks like he's fouling everybody. And Marty stayed on his feet as well. So
yeah,
I'd be surprised if that was given as a foul.
You see, I get with VAR, it should be clear and obvious. Now, it looks like it's been given, but it'd be the first time. Yeah, he's given it. He's given it.
Couldn't celebrate. Get in there. Bruno Guimaraes' first goal at St. James's Park. Good lad.
Nice. Well done, mate. Well done. I mean, it's not often you see the referee go to the monitor and actually overrule it.
Well, indeed, yeah. They were just checking to see if he'd fouled Schmeichel and checking to see if there was any fouls on the centre backs in the build-up, and it seemed fairly okay. I think it would have been more controversial to disallow that because there's not a lot in it.
To be honest, the way I look at these things are, if that was at the other end of the pitch, would I be shouting that it was a goal? I mean, in fairness,
I feel like Dubravka has a lot of that. It always goes against Dubravka. He's, I think that would have been a goal at either end. To be fair,
no. But what I'm saying is, I would have been screaming that it should have been allowed. So I can't argue.
If you scored
with
that, I would have been fine with it. You didn't. There was no keeper kick. I'd have been more frustrated with. I mean, I don't know if you're frustrated with Schmeichel for that. That was a bit of a strange phase of play, wasn't it? It was a bit sloppy.
Yeah, it's hard to actually be mad at Schmeichel because he keeps us in the game so often.
Oh yeah, indeed. Yeah, of course.
You could say he did better. He went down. It's just his legs. How often do you actually see strikers follow it up like that? And all credit to the Newcastle player, he did. He followed it up.
I mean, he's our new defensive midfielder, and he's
yes,
very, very good at attacking for a defensive midfielder. Yeah. He's definitely going to be playing slightly further up than we first anticipated with his quality going forward.
Apparently, there's been a bad injury at West Ham Burnley. Burnley's Westwood has been carried off. A very bad injury, said Jeff, and he says they've taken the lead as well, Burnley. So it looks like he's saying Burnley are 1-0 up. Well, my 3-1's still on. Oh, hang on. Oh, no, well done. Oh,
you're at the Soyuncu tackle, are you?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think it was a pen. I think he got the ball fine. Wood's screaming at nothing there. He needs to get up and carry on. I don't want us to be winning through that kind of pens. We don't do what Maddison does. We want to win fair and square.
I was about to say at least Chris Woods isn't a Bruno at Man United. I've never seen anybody whinge as much as him before.
Oh yeah, well we got the real Bruno. They got Fernandes. We got Bruno Guimaraes. He's definitely the best Bruno at the moment. That's for sure.
At fairness, it was a handball by your player.
It was as well, yeah. It bounced up and hit his hand. So I think as an attacker, it's always a handball, isn't it, in the box?
It is, yes.
So it would have made no difference.
The thing is, I mean, had that gone on to be a goal, I mean, it's...
No, I wouldn't want to score from that. That's outrageous. I don't want to score like that.
No,
I don't
think he didn't touch that on purpose. He could not have got his hand out the way. He was going down, you know, his hand was out to try and break his fall.
Yeah. But that's how the new rules were written. That's how it was 2 or 3 years ago. They changed the handball rule. It doesn't matter if it's accidental. If it's in the attacking phase in the box, it's always a handball. But in the reverse scenario, if it's an accidental defense handball, it's okay. So they've got 2 sets of rules, whether you're an attacker or a defender, which is a bit odd. It's caused a lot of controversy. In
I mean, this is okay. This is how silly it is. I mean, this is why I always say VA. I mean, they brought VAR in to replace them because the referees weren't good enough, apparently, to do it on their own. And then who do they put looking after VAR? Referees. So I think they should have ex-players doing VAR.
Yeah. I mean, my vote would be a panel. It's expensive, but there is enough money in the league. I would love to have sort of a few neutrals who have been taught the game and the rules, some refs, maybe some ex-pros, some ex-managers, have a panel of 10 in a VAR room, and then they all have a voting button, or something like that. I don't know. That's just a throwaway idea, but there are other ways that could make it more consistent and a bit more accurate.
I mean, I do regular shows with an ex-player, Julian Watts. And he said, he would love to do it. I mean, when you're looking at these players from the lower leagues that haven't going to go on and get a background, they're not going to get, be employed by Sky or BT or whatever. They'd love to do it. I'm sure they'd love to do it.
I think we've so far, I think we've been the better team of the two. No disrespect there, but I think
I was just thinking. Then it's all you at the moment.
Yeah, it's very, very high intensity. I'm surprised. I didn't think the lads had this in them fitness-wise right now. It does concern me for the second half though, because we're giving it a lot of welly in this first half.
Yes,
it's very, very high intensity. So it's whether it's how long and whether we can keep this up for the rest of the match, but we'll see how it goes. We'll have to defend in spells. But I wouldn't worry about it. You've got substitutes to bring off the bench, and if this is still to play for, then the game will change in sort of 60, 70 minutes for sure as players tire.
I'm just checking now. Apparently, we've had 63% ball possession. I wouldn't have said that looking at the game.
I mean, it's based on it's our style of play. That at the moment, if we get the ball to Shelby's job is release a runner straight away, find the pass. So we are giving up possession to try those moves. So I think this is part of the game plan. We don't mind you having the ball in your own half. It's not an issue. We're quite confident with our back four and our offside trap. So that the play is immediately try and release a runner or get it to Chris Wood. So the possession makes a lot of sense.
Possession doesn't win you games, though.
Indeed. Yeah, we haven't got the players to play possession-based football at the moment. We would need a few more signings to play in the way you do. We don't have the quality to sort of pass the ball around and maintain it. It's more sort of quick runner releases and counters. We struggle with build-up. We're not very good at scoring from open play.
Good. Don't change that today. Oh, I didn't turn my phone off when I thought I did, and it's just message, but it was just messaging me the your goal. Oh, come on, Leicester. Let's get back into this now. Come on. We're giving the ball away too easy. And, a lot of our passes are sort of going to black and white players. Oh, Dewsbury Hall going through. Oh, no, he's good defending there by your guys.
Yeah, it's the high press. If you're trying to pass it around in your third, that triggers our press. And then if you get through that, we just drop into a shape. So
yes. I mean, I'm not unpleased with Leicester's performance so far. Kicking it. I don't trust us playing it back to Schmeichel all the time.
this is a very good game. I'm jealous I'm not at the stadium. This is a cracking game.
Yes, your fans. I mean, I haven't got the sound on because obviously we can't allow the speakers to pick it up, but it's there must be a great atmosphere there because you guys are sort of really going for it. Oh, you're on a break now? You're breaking. Finally, oh no, yeah, we got some players up. Oh, Chris Wood there. He just fancy a goal against us again.
Yeah, he's that was very, very good from Maxi to release Joe Linton on the left.
Yeah.
Wood couldn't get on the end of it, unfortunately. It was good from your defenders to keep Joe Linton kind of out of the danger area. He struggled to get it in.
One of your guys is down. It was quite windy there as well. It does seem strange to see Eddie Howe as a Newcastle manager. So I've
not anymore. We're very used to it.
Well, I
can't remember anything else. It's brilliant.
When I came down to Poole and Eddie Howe had literally just taken over at Bournemouth, and that's all I've known him as. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was peculiar in the first few weeks, especially because they when they announced him, they did a little video of him in a suit in the dressing room in kind of a James Bond style, and it was very surreal. It didn't feel like he was the real manager, but he very much does feel like our manager now with the training. We've had two training camps, quite 20 odd games.
Yes.
It definitely feels like our man now, especially with Jason Tyndall, the assistant. Mad Dog Tyndall, he gets called because he's quite a character.
He was with him at Bournemouth and what have you. It's
and we always do a team photo after each win as well in the locker room. All the lads do a big team photo, so there's a lot of camaraderie there.
Yeah. Oh, that's a through ball. Schmeichel comes and kicks it out. Yeah, I mean, you have got a good manager there, and he's had that time off between leaving Bournemouth and joining you to sort of refresh himself and get his mind right.
Yeah, he went off and did a lot of studying as well. He went and worked in Scotland. He went and shadowed Simeone and had a look at Atletico. Built up his portfolio and his training folders and everything with his backroom staff. They were busy, hard at work when they were away from football. Because they knew they were waiting for a good opportunity to present itself, and unfortunately that's us. So I do hope he continues with us and grows, because I don't want to go the way of City and change managers. I'd love it if Eddie Howe can keep learning and growing with us.
Do you think that because when I first saw that you signed Eddie Howe, I was surprised because I do know he's always liked the South Coast and went to Burnley before and didn't really settle there. But I was just wondering whether he's kind of the stopgap manager. He'll keep you up this season, make you a solid mid-table team. But then for you to go on to the next level, that you're going to need sort of a named manager, if you like, or do you think it's a case of, well, until he does something wrong or has a bad season or whatever, you'll stick with him?
It's tough to say. We'll have to see how he does with money, in terms of the money brought in with players. Because he doesn't really have the characters in the dressing room, but I don't think that's how we're going to do it necessarily. Similar to how like Red Bull do it. They bring in system players and they have that team, and the team builds the unity. There is no superstar necessarily. I think that's the way we're going to try and do it. We're not going to try and maybe the odd marquee signing here and there to appease the fans and for sort of branding, but I think it's going to be more of a system team, kind of like in a Man City way, but without the stars necessarily. It's going to be a system build based on positions and roles. So it depends how he does with the signings. If we get some sort of elite players through, or when we eventually can get elite players through, how does he handle that? You know, he's managed his first sort of slide in form very well. We had that 3-loss streak. He got everybody back sort of confident. We got the Wolves win. We look, even if we lose this game today, we've looked quite good. I think we've looked fine. Not a bad performance in the first half at all. So we'll just have to see how he does next year with additional players, and if he can handle that step up, challenging for multiple competitions and challenging for Europe. We'll see if he can do that.
We're into added time here. I think both teams will go in. You know, I think if either team had gone in 1-0 down, they would have been disappointed.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I think it's a close 1-1. I think we've had quite a few more chances, but we've not been very clinical at all with some of our shots. So I think if we went in 2-1 up at half time, I think that would maybe be a bit lucky because our shooting's been poor. But 1-1 is probably fair for half time.
Yeah.
You can see the lads are starting to tire a bit as well. Those sprints are starting to slow down a bit. That was a mad stint even from Leicester as well defensively, because you were trying to counter from our counters. It was all the transitions were very fast.
Dorco, he said you've lost 24 points from winning positions. Is that Leicester or Newcastle?
That's Newcastle, but that was the old us. That was sort of Watford and before that. Most of that's happened.
Yes. Right. Apparently, Ben and Burnley have missed a penalty, according to Jeff. It's all happening at that game. I don't know where all this injury time has come from.
Yeah, I'm not sure where the 5 minutes has come from. Probably from Dan Burn. Bruno was down for a minute. I'm not sure what was wrong with him. And the VAR check, of course.
Yes, of course.
But still, 5 minutes seems excessive.
I never know how they come to it, to be honest with you. Dewsbury Hall in with a tackle. I've not seen much of Mendy. Dewsbury Hall, Luke Thomas, Soyuncu, Amati, Thomas. Almiron gets it back for you. Kind of like you say, I think they're possibly tiring. And there we go. It is half time.
Just a lot of people booting it up in the air, lots of headers. It's gone very schoolboy now. Everybody's tired.
Yeah. I mean, just looking at have a quick look at the stats, and then we'll have the break. Possession, wow, 62-37. But like I say, what does that mean? Really mean? Shots, 10 to you. Well, 4 to us. You don't have more of the shots, and I think that kind of sums us up because say we get the ball in the good positions, but then that final pass to release somebody to have a shot never seems to come off. In fact, you've had more shots on target than we've had shots, and corners are the same. I think that is I think that shows in the game. I think if anything, you did slightly have the better half.
Yeah, I don't know if it was enough of a better half to claim 2-1. I think 1-1's still fair, but I'll take that. We've 1-1, and I felt like we played better over the 45 minutes. But but that doesn't mean anything. We've still got the second half. You've got subs to bring on. Brendan will probably change a few things. It's going to be a very different second half. I mean, Eddie's going to probably be saying much of the same, maybe tinker a couple of things, but I think if it continues like this for the second half, I think we will win. But that's not going to happen because Brendan will change things. Substitutes will happen. People will tire. So it's up for grabs.
I'm just looking there. The name of your scorer. Could it be any longer?
Bruno Guimarães. Yeah, he's our new Brazilian midfielder. He starts for Brazil next to Coutinho, Fabinho. It's crazy that we managed to get a Brazilian international. We signed him when we were 19th in the table.
Wow.
And he's Champions League quality. It's incredible. I don't know how we got him. He's brilliant.
When you look at his name, were you thinking of shirt sales?
Possibly. Well, no, he's the real deal. He walks the walk. He doesn't do any talking. He just does it on the pitch. He scored the same amount of goals as Chris Wood from defensive midfield, and he's played half as many games.
Wow.
He sits in midfield. He completes most of his passes. He's got crazy tackles. Before we got him, he played very well against PSG for Lyon before we nabbed him in January. He's had cracking performances against Kante of Chelsea and against Moutinho of Wolves. He's scored 2 goals. He's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. He's going to be integral for us going forward in the next few seasons. He's part of the build for sure. I can't believe we got him.
I think the thing is as well, though, you don't have to worry about losing players now, do you? Because you if you get a good player, where maybe under Ashley and Bruce, you're in a point of, oh God, are we going to lose him next season? Where now there's no way you're going to lose players. If you want to keep them, you're going to be in a position to be able to keep them.
Yeah, they all want to be part of the project. That's what.
Yes.
Ultimately, that's one of the reasons why I think we're getting better performances out of some of the fringe players, because they realise that if they up their game, they're going to be part of a team challenging for Europe going forward, and who are trying to become one of the biggest teams in the world. That's the goal.
Yes.
They want to be like Real Madrid. That's why they bought. That's why the PIF bought Newcastle. They want us to be at that level. So these players, they know if they turn up and try a bit harder, and they can ride the train for 2, 3, 4 seasons, they can be part of something special. Possibly get a better contract, play in more important games, and possibly even get a better move or a decent move when they do move on. So it's in everybody's interest for them to play a bit better and to try and to care.
Yes, indeed. Right. Well, I'm going to go and have my halftime constitutional. And if you want to do the same, and we'll be back in a few minutes.
Yeah, I shall return in 5.
Yeah. Hello, welcome back. So it is Newcastle United 1, Leicester City 1 at half time, and West Ham United 0, Burnley 1. So Burnley showing a response there in the Battle of the Claret and the Blue, and we wish their player the best of luck. They have had a player that's been taken off, so we hope that he's going to be okay. Fingers crossed for him. Couple of points here. Just checking. Harry Redknapp, Jamie Redknapp on Sky. I admire Leicester's goal a lot. It looked really simple, but lots of things had to go right. I love to see moves like this straight out of the playbook. Loads of moving parts. Hats off to Chris Davis, who is the Leicester City set piece coach. Now, that's something I never thought I'd hear this season. I've got to be honest with you. Somebody praising our set pieces, but there we go. Then 2 seconds later, what do they mention? Leicester have conceded more goals from set pieces, excluding penalties, and from corners than any other team in the Premier League this season. That's more like it. I do think that is definitely more like it. What are your thoughts on the first half? KV, you did ask this earlier. Thoughts on ASM, Alex? Oh, just as I mentioned his name, back he comes. Almost like it was planned. Alex, how are you doing?
I'm good, thanks.
KV says their thoughts on ASM, Alex, after the first half.
Frustrating. I'm sure everybody else is going to be screaming at him, as they always do. He's a very divisive character. Again, I love him. I think he's brilliant, but he does need to make better choices. He's ran into a lot of sort of dead channels or not released it at the right time. He is just he's that final percent away from being an incredible player. If he'd have released 3 or 4 of those balls a bit earlier, then we could have been on the score sheet again. He's just he's very frustrating. But I will still back him in a Toon shirt. I want him to stay. I want to see him improve. Hopefully, he will do a little bit better in the second half and just do a bit more. He's done a few good passes and a few things, but we know he can do a little bit more than this. So.
I think I said, didn't I? I noticed that when he does break, that he doesn't get that support, straight away. And
True.
You look at it and you see him go down, and you think, oh, he's gone down again. But then, he's gone down because he's had nobody there to.
Yeah, I mean that is the case quite more often than not. But this first half, he has had quite a few opportunities where he has had available passes, and he's just not chosen them,
right?
Or he's tried to do one or too many touches or moves.
Yeah.
But yeah, there are a lot of situations as well where he's isolated.
Yeah,
which is not his fault necessarily.
Right. Kevin said, "Can I have some stats on Nigel Almiron?" I'm sorry, Miguel Almiron. Sorry, should have gone to Specsavers.
On Almiron for the first half.
I haven't got any stats.
I've always got stats. That's my name.
Yeah. I see what you mean. Of course it is. Yeah, yeah.
So he got 5 out of 9 ground duels. Miggy did because he was chasing everybody like a terrier. 1 out of 2 successful dribbles, 1 shot off target, 2 tackles, 1 interception. He was pretty lively for Miggy in the first half. Not incredible, but he did okay. He did all right. He was put himself about. He helped with the high press, definitely. He's good at his pressing.
Jeff saying there, from a Leicester point of view, been impressed by Joe Linton since he moved to midfield.
Yeah, I mean he's one of the best midfielders in the league in that position right now. When he's not ill, he's people, certain fan bases who don't watch us laugh at that. But if you go and have a look at the statistics and how he's done since January, it's bonkers. He tops a lot of statistics as a midfielder. If you ignore the first half of the season when he was playing as a winger or as a striker, if you just look at him from January as a midfielder, his stats are insane. It's crazy the transformation he's undergone. It really is. His duels, tackles, interceptions, his help in the wide areas as well as cover, and he's even chipped in with a couple of goals. Just brilliant.
Yeah. So we're back in play. KV says, "Am I confident that you can win this?" To be honest with you, I think it could go either way at the moment. Am I confident? I think we could go on and win it. You know, we have got the players on the bench to change things round. But you could just as it's been one of those games, hasn't it? You know, it could go either way.
I mean, it looks like we've come out slightly more hungry in the second half. Almiron's just absolutely skinned Thomas at left back, done some fancy feet to get around him at the side of the pitch. That was amazing from Almiron. I didn't know he'd got some of these moves in his locker, to be honest.
Oh wow, yeah, I've just seen it.
Yeah,
turn, you know. And in fairness to Thomas, I don't think. Is there a shot at the end of it? Yes, but it's wide. Yeah, I think that would have caught a lot of players out, in fairness to Thomas. But I mean, it was a lovely.
Almiron did this against Wolves as well. He was involved in a reverse pass offside goal against Wolves. So the last couple of games, he's been doing these little tricky tricks, and they've been doing very, very well. He's looking a bit better. He's been out of the team for four or 5 weeks. Or even 6 weeks. So maybe the timeout's done him good. He's been training, and maybe he knows what's expected of him in the team now because he looks a lot better.
Yeah. Oh, Lee Mason, I've just seen is on VAR. So.
Oh dear.
Yes. And I'm going to say, I haven't seen the comments that anybody's said about it yet on my Facebook group, but. Oh come on! That was this. Oh, ref. I was just about to praise the ref then, and then he absolutely lets as a WWE tackled go. I don't know. I was going to say I've got to say to and he let another. Well, fairness, he let one go for you as well there. I was just impressed that a referee has gone up to the Almerian's down now. That he's gone up to the monitor, looked at it, and said, "No, it was right. It was a goal. Because so often, when they're sending the referee over to the monitor, that it's going to be sort of ruled out."
Yeah, I mean that was it was quite clear cut. There wasn't a lot of contact at all from anybody, so.
No.
It would have been a weird one, but I think the ref's been okay so far. I'm not unhappy with anything. You've had a few calls. We've had a few calls. I think the goal was correctly awarded. Yeah. Hopefully the rest of the game continues like this, and it's more about football and less about the officials.
Yeah. I don't know if this is fair. Somebody's just said in the Facebook group, I see the Newcastle players like to fall over a lot. Maybe that's a bit unfair, I think.
Some of them do, but I mean, is it any more than Maddison and Perez do? I mean, probably similar amounts, to be fair.
Yeah. And like you said, I'm sorry, but we've got to get with the process here. I mean, other teams do it, not just Newcastle or Leicester. And if you don't do it, then you're stupid. I think really.
I've seen a couple of situations this season from Declan Rice where he stayed on his feet, where if he'd have gone down, he would have got penalties or free kicks. To be fair.
Oh, Perez, good ball. Just a little bit. That went straight through your defence, didn't it? That one.
Yeah, we've got to be careful with the wings at the moment.
Through his legs. Daka couldn't quite get on the end of it.
I'm not sure Dan Burn is 100% at the moment. After that clash in the first half, he doesn't look. Yeah. He's moving a bit funny, like he's shaking his shoulders about a bit.
Yes. The Jeff says the beer is stronger up in Newcastle. That's why you're falling over. As somebody once said, "Do you have a drink problem?" No, I drink. I fall over. No problem. But
yeah, Miggy's always gone over quite easily. Almiron has. Max, he does look like he's trying to stay on his feet. The Woods penalty shout, I agree, wasn't. I don't know what he was doing there. He should have just got up and carried on.
Yeah.
But I don't think too many people are on the floor. I mean, Almiron always does it.
I hadn't noticed it, in fairness, but you know, that's the joy of Facebook. It lets everybody have opinions, doesn't it? And I'll tell you what, it is nice. There's a clip of Perez then when he put that ball across and Daka couldn't quite get on the end of it. It's nice to see Perez playing with a smile on his face. And I hope he, for the sake of Leicester and him, I hope that maybe he can turn things round.
I mean, preferably not today, but yeah, I wouldn't mind him doing. I wouldn't mind him succeeding because I do like him as a player. I think he does have that quality.
Yes,
he displays some excellent quality at times. Definitely Champions League quality when he wants to turn it on.
Yes,
he just needs to find that consistency, and then he can be, he can be what he wants.
Agree.
Happy to have you keeping the ball at the moment. I don't particularly like you having this much of the ball.
Well, we've got the ball, but we're not actually doing an awful lot with it.
Yeah, this is where you want Maddison on the pitch. Really, you don't seem to, apart from Dewsbury Hall. Sometimes you don't seem to have that lock picker available. The wing play's not working great.
He can change a game. He's
like John Joe Shelvey, but in winger form. Basically, he can do multiple jobs all at a high level, and he's very dangerous. So I'm very happy he's not on the pitch because Maddison is somebody who could break us open.
Oh, Dewsbury Hall there. I don't know if you've seen that one yet.
Yeah, that was close.
Yeah, that was close. That was a nice bit of play by Leicester there. Let's see if I can. I would like him to maybe.
Bruno just beat 3 players and tried to play a through ball. He is just different gravy. Bruno is. He's incredible.
I just wish, and I would like Perez to get a goal, and I don't think he's scored against Newcastle since he's come back. So
it'd be an interesting one if he does get on the score sheet. I mean, to be fair, as we tick up towards the hour mark, possibly 65 minutes, he would be the sort of person I can see coming off. So he might not even get to see the game out.
No, you're quite right there. Because Brendan does like making changes around. And this, poor cross.
I know it's Bruno because you said, he makes everybody go, with his magic. He's brilliant.
Fortunately, it was a nice move, but the pass at the end was awful.
Yeah, the pass wasn't quite there. I mean, he is a defensive midfielder at the end of the day. He's still honing his game. But you can see the talent that's there. It's definitely a step up on what we had. Because Leicester are no pushovers for midfielders. You've got some very talented midfielders.
Yes. I'm just wondering. I can probably see Daka coming off for Inacho. I'm not sure what you said there.
I said, well done.
Oh.
I don't want to give too much away, but there's some interesting phases of play. Very good defending from us. Dewsbury Hall, again, is your main threat at the moment. Everything's going through him. He's what we need to be worried about. We need to keep an eye on him.
Good evening, Ian. How the devil are you, sir? I think I'm about to... see that. Good defending from you there, just stopping Dewsbury Hall. Big up Alex Toonarmy. You're doing all right at the moment, Ian. I think at the moment it's all us, but we're just not doing anything with it at the moment.
Yeah, you've been. I think we came out stronger in the first 5 minutes of the second half, and since then it's been pushing in your favour.
Yes,
you're up to 5 corners now. And we're still on 2.
I can see changes being made because I think the game is there for us. No disrespect to yourselves, but on current form, on current play, ball whipped in by Dewsbury Hall.
I mean, you're currently on top, so I think you'll wait and
Yes.
see how this period of the game goes. If it gets you a goal, then he might not make certain changes. But if it doesn't get you a goal, then yeah.
Yeah, I do sometimes, like I say, I do question Brendan's decision making when it comes to substitutions because
I've heard a lot of this, over the course of the season with people questioning his subs.
Yeah, I mean, West Ham and with 2-1 up, I think it was, 90th minute, they've got a corner, and it's at that point he chooses to change his defence.
I mean, that's textbook.
And
Traditionally you don't do that, do you? So.
No, exactly. And then West Ham equalised. Who knew? There's nobody up there. He's on his own again. Finally, you see some Newcastle players running in. But shot, and it was well over from Joe Linton. But again, whoever it was there running up on your left wing, is Justin injured? He's down. There was no Newcastle players up there with him, and he had to sort of hold on to it. And by the time the Newcastle players had come on, we'd got our defenders back as well.
Yeah, he'll probably get blamed for that as well. I mean, he did release Joe Linton for a shot. So the problem is both the other all of the midfielders are tasked with a lot of defensive responsibility as well. So joining the attack, it depends on the context. It depends on the transition, where we won the ball. So Joe Linton often is the person to follow up if he can. Just see Maddison starting to warm up on the side as well. That's as predicted. Once we get to the hour mark, if you haven't scored again, this is where things get dangerous. But no, you're right. He does need some support. This is why we need a bit of additional quality, possibly on the opposite wing.
Yes.
We just need some help for him. Possibly somebody better than Wood, who is more of a runner, less of a target man. So that when Maxi breaks,
what Perez has given us. The possession there is sort of 70-30-ish. I know Perez has given us a threat on that right hand side. Because,
he's been okay today, definitely. He's not been bad.
No, I can see him coming off, unfortunately, but he hasn't done bad at all. But we always sort of seem to be playing down the left. That's where our main threat comes from. With Lookman, if Barnes was on there, it's Barnes, Dewsbury Hall. But he has given us something on that right-hand side today, so big up to him.
It's interesting. He's being booed by some section of the fans, but he's being applauded as he's gone off now, Perez. So he was a good servant to us. He deserves an applause. He got us out of the championship.
It is Perez going off, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was caught up in whether they were booing or applauding. It was a bit of both. I think it was more applause though, which is nice.
To be honest with you, though, I think he's an ex-player. You're not gonna, he's going to get a bit of a reception anyway, isn't he?
I mean, it depends on how they behave once they leave. Because if you behave nicely, then the St James's crowd will love you forever. But if you start being a bit two-faced, then you will get booed every time you come back to the stadium. So it really does depend.
I think I don't particularly think he has. He been two-faced. Oh, I can see some applause there. Yeah.
No, he's been all right. He's been very positive about the club and his time there, and he was a good servant for us. So, and we got good money for him, so we can't complain.
It's like Chilwell when he left us to go to Leicester. The crowd were on his back and they didn't seem to like him, which was a bit weird because he was England's left back at the time, so he was a good player. But as soon as he left and got to Chelsea, he was, putting Leicester down, and like you say, fans won't forgive that.
Yeah, no, that's unnecessary. There's no need for that, especially because Chilwell essentially got his break through playing for Leicester.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't realise there was quite as much animosity there. That's a strange one. We have a similar thing with Maxi. To be fair, it's.
I mean, he wasn't liked when he was at Leicester for some reason. I don't know why. You know what it's like? Fans sometimes just seem to take. Well, Leicester fans do just seem to take against a player. There always has to be one player every season that they don't like. But no, I've got to give Perez his due here. He's not had a bad game at all. Is that a Leicester throw? Yes, it is.
We've got Longstaff warming up on the sidelines. I'm not sure if he's warming up to come on or if he's just keeping his legs warm. I think it might be the latter.
Who would you take off if he came on?
I wouldn't take off anybody right now.
No.
The balance in the midfield is quite good. Shelvey's playing his role well. He's the captain, so he's not going to come off. Joe Linton is doing very well with his breaking on the counter. And Bruno is just incredible. It's difficult to take anybody off from the midfield. It's difficult being a midfielder at Newcastle United right now because you can't get on the pitch.
Good position to be in, and next season you are going to need a good squad because when you start next season as a better team than you've sort of been this season. You're going to have the FA Cup. You're going to have you're going to have sort of three fronts to play on.
Yeah, indeed. We will need a bigger squad, which is why I'm not as fussed about having Wood as sort of a squad target man, because we got knocked out of the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup in our first matches this season. So we haven't had as many matches at all. So next season we will hopefully get 4 or 5 additional matches through cups.
Yes.
At least, maybe hopefully more. You never know. So we will need a bigger squad. A bigger squad in terms of quality. Anyway, we need a bit more depth. Not necessarily We've got a big squad right now. We've got Isaac Hayden, Jamal Lewis, and Kieran Clark didn't make the 25-man squad. So we've got people who were first teamers, not even in the 25 registered at the moment. So we've got a lot of clearing out to do and fixing.
The question there for you from me in asking about Almiron. Does Leicester clear the ball out the box from another Newcastle attack?
What's the question? I can't quite see that.
Oh, sorry. How is Almiron playing?
Quieter in the second half, apart from his magical bits of skill. He's improved. He's better. He's looking a lot better. He's doing his defensive jobs. It's not as much just running and energy. He used to just be a lot of energy and not a lot of anything else with the ball. But he's definitely seems to have improved on the ball. Technically, he looks a lot better. He hit one over the bar. It'd be interesting to see how he continues to perform over the next few weeks because he's improving. Whether it's enough to keep him in the team in the summer, I don't know. But it's exciting. We'll see if he improves.
Yeah.
It's still very scrappy and end to end at the moment.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just not. It's okay. It's just that final ball for us, like there. It just wasn't. Daka wasn't, on it as they say.
I mean, based on the run of play, I think we should be ahead now. I really do. I think we've had so many shots that have just been subpar. People have not got their shooting boots on at all. We just keep hitting it straight at Schmeichel. We need to be doing better. I think we should be 2-1 up. We really should be. We've had so many shots on target. This is a crazy open game at the moment. And likewise, you could have scored from something. It's very open. I'm surprised it's still 1-1.
14 shots from you, 7 for us. I mean, what you might know with your Stato thing, when they say something, it's a big chance. They're saying like you've had 3 big chances, we've had 0, but we've got a goal.
Yeah, but you didn't miss that. You scored it, so it's not a big chance missed, is it? So a big chance is when you get sort of one-on-one with the keeper, or when you are in a situation where the XG, the expected goal, is very high. So it's be the quality of the chance, like how far it is away from the goal, where the keeper's positioned, how many defenders are around the shot taker, and they will base it on things like that. So we had Almiron was free on goal and put it over the bar. And there's I can't remember what the other. We've had two missed big chances. I can't recall what the second one would have been. I'm not sure.
Lookman's off and Barnes is on.
Good change. It's smart changes from Rodgers. If I was the manager, I would have made the same changes for Leicester. So,
I mean, I don't think Lookman again. He hasn't had a bad game.
No, indeed, he's not been too bad.
I think it's just about sort of changing it around a little bit because, like you say, you guys haven't tired yet, or don't appear to have tired.
Yeah, it's interesting. We have fitness. Very bizarre.
Yeah, you might do.
Well, we have got Sean Longstaff to come on, who does have legs. He's not the most talented player, but he's putting up 23, 24 pressures per 90, so he's a very energetic midfielder.
Yes.
He just doesn't have quite as much quality as the other three on the pitch right now. But he might be brought on tasked with sort of handling Maddison, possibly. You never know.
So Maximum there didn't have a good run, didn't control it, but he kept hold of the ball for the team, and you are still kind of back to midfield, halfway
high
line.
press working well.
Yeah.
I'm very proud of our lads because Leicester are a very good team, very well set up with good quality players. So I think, regardless of what the final score is, I think we look good. I'm proud of how we play, considering the caliber of Leicester. This is good from us.
I think as well, sort of certainly from my point of view, this is a completely different Newcastle to. I know it's obvious to say that, but it is a completely different Newcastle to the one we played earlier in the season. Man on! Oh, for fuck's sake! Just clear it! Jesus, what? Wow! So it's gone from our box all the way back to your goalie.
Looks like we're making some substitutions as well. He's actually going to bring Chris Wood off for Willock in midfield. He's bringing on Murphy, presumably as a winger. Yeah, that's for Almiron. So Murphy on for Almiron, and Willock is on for Wood. So it looks like we're taking our target man off. Not sure how we're going to play that though.
I'm going to say, are you settling for the point? Do you think?
Well, those are quite aggressive changes. I think we might be trying to win it.
Are they? Right.
Yeah.
No, I'm just thinking with you taking Wood off and you haven't got like a target man now.
Well, I think he's impressed with the counter attacks and the intensity. So he's brought two. Willock is a driving box to box midfielder, and Murphy is a winger with an okay finish at times. So those are offensive changes. It looks like he wants to win. Eddie Howe always tries to win games.
Yeah.
In his press conferences, he won't talk about draws. He talks about wins and losses. He's not interested in draws. And in the tune, we want the entertainers. We love winning games. We don't care about draws.
Yes. It's just a whole different attitude that your players seem to be showing now, and they're congratulating each other. Joe Almiron as he walks off, and Shelby goes across and kisses his head. It's just another. You wouldn't believe it was the same club, would you?
It is. It's crazy considering how. I mean, the last time we played, we had already had the takeover and we had Howe in, but it was still teething. We're only a few weeks into it. Yeah, it was very early doors. There was no changes at the time. So the contrast the Leicester fans watching, you can see the contrast in the quality and the intensity, the fitness, the camaraderie. It's all gone up 5 notches, and that's all Eddie Howe that's done that. We are playing some of our new signings now, but our big win streak that we went on didn't include many of the new signings because Trippier got injured, Bruno wasn't in the team, so we were getting those points without the money. It was just Eddie Howe's hard work and the old players just doing so well.
I think Trippier was a great signing.
Oh, he's also different gravy. He's definitely Champions League quality. I mean, he won La Liga with Atletico. I don't know how we got him either. We're missing him, that's for sure.
It's the law, though, isn't it? You just buy somebody like that and they get injured. That's just bad luck, unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Amanda Stavley mentioned in an interview, like, as long as Kieran Trippier can still run, he's going to play football for us and stay here. Like, they love him. So I am getting a little bit nervous though that we might be too aggressive pushing for this winner, because you did win against PSV very late on with a bit of quality in the final minutes.
We did.
I'm a bit concerned. We are going for the throat, so that I think this looks like it's going to be a 3 points for you or for us, because everybody wants to win. This doesn't look like a nothing to play for game that everybody suggested it could be.
Yeah, it's just it's whether we, if you are pressing us and coming forward, it's whether we can hit you on the break. At the moment, that hasn't really come off for us.
Yeah, well, it's the trigger press from we try and win the ball back very quickly upon losing it in your third. It's to try and prevent that counter attack, and if we can't win it back, then we just drop into shape. And so far, it's not been an issue. It was against Spurs, that's why we lost 5-1. So we are capable of messing it up.
Yeah. Is that going to go out, or is St. Maxim? Oh, he kept it in. Fair play to the guy. He kept it in and won a throw in.
Yeah, he's playing with heart, Maxi is today. Not always making the best decisions, but he is trying. Yeah, Maxi's so with the substitutions, Newcastle are now playing with St. Maximin up front as a lone striker, it seems.
Right.
So we're packing the midfield a bit more to try and control the game, because you guys made your subs, and we're obviously paying respect to Maddison and his quality.
Yeah. And what's he like in that role, St. Maximin?
Very hot and cold. Sometimes he can win you matches on his own. Sometimes he gets very isolated and he strops a lot if things don't come off. More often than not, it's been poor as a lone striker role, but he often gets moved there late on when the instructions aren't always, they've not always practiced it as much.
Yes.
Obviously, the training ground is always Chris Wood up front. So if we swap to Maxi up front on his own, it's not something the whole team have done that many times.
Yeah. Burnley are still doing themselves a good favour here. 1-0 up against West Ham. Their fans are in such shock on that one. Just seem a weird decision with 8 games to go, doesn't it?
What, for West Ham down, are they still?
Yeah, West Ham are down, but yeah, it just seems like. But then again, if Burnley win this one, I suppose the chairman will say, "Told you,"
Well, yeah. I mean, West Ham's a funny one. When we played away to West Ham, it was a very quiet stadium, considering the capacity. But I know the fans were very annoyed about how far away they are from the pitch. And that was a good game as well. We managed to go toe-to-toe with West Ham, similarly to what we're doing against you guys now, and that ended in a 1-1. We nullified Rice and Souček in midfield. So it's a similar performance today.
Got a lot of passes, but it's going nowhere.
I'll be interested to see what the possession stats are now.
I
think we've had a lot more of the ball recently.
65-35 at the moment. Now, this is interesting. Accurate passes, 137 for you, 327 for us.
Yeah, well, it just shows the style of play. We're trying to, again, release those runners and play direct.
Yes.
And then just be efficient when we're off the ball. It's
down into the last 15 minutes.
What the second half stats are. Oh. Yeah, possession stats aren't great. I think we had a lot of the ball in the last 5 minutes, but it's not affected the total possession too much.
No.
We've had 5 shots to your 3 in the second half. We are very direct in the second half as well.
In fairness, I mean, obviously with it being the home team, you Inacho's coming on.
Maddison trying to link up play on the right side. He's doing all right with it. We've got to keep an eye open.
I think at the back of their minds, they are thinking, European semi-final coming up.
Yeah, there's been a lot of debate about that, isn't there, as to whether you have European hangovers, whether you're thinking about rotation. I'm not so sure. A lot of people, pundits, fans, non-fans, they all seem very divided on whether this is a thing or not. I mean, you seem to be doing okay, balancing the squad and the multiple competitions.
I think now, I mean, we dropped out of the Europa League. And so, I mean, I don't agree with, you drop out of one league, you shouldn't be sort of parachuted into one below it.
Yeah, into the other one.
Like Man United a couple of seasons ago nearly won the Europa League, but that was only because they were dumped out of the Champions League. I don't agree with that at all, but those are the rules we're in it. I think now we've finally got the the squad back fit and what have you, enough to be able to rotate.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes.
But yeah, I wonder how much of, because it does look like we've been slightly fitter. We've had a little bit more intensity, and I wonder if that's just how both teams are fitness wise, or how much of that is down to PSV the other night.
I mean, a lot of the players that are now on were playing. Maddison was playing. Inacho, was playing. Kieran Dewsbury Hall. I mean, this is his third lot of 90 minutes within the last week. To be honest with you, so I suppose it will catch up on them eventually.
Yeah. It's a very difficult game to call going into the final 10 minutes soon. It's very end to end at the moment. People are getting nervous.
I'm not going to lie, I am nervous now. Whole corner for you. I am nervous because I think if one of us gets a goal now, it's going to be difficult to maybe pull one back because there's not much time left.
I don't know. Well, as one of the commenters put before, we're quite good at conceding when we're ahead, and sometimes we concede immediately after we've scored because the lads just don't focus. That is a trend, unfortunately. We've been better at it in recent weeks, but if we score now, it's not game over. It could end 2-2. We are, because we do lose focus. So I wouldn't write yourselves off if we do score.
I mean, we saw 88th minute against Eindhoven, but I also remember that it was 92 minutes and we're leading Tottenham 2-1-2. So we can go both ways for Leicester.
Yeah, I mean, these are both attacking teams at the moment, and they're trying to. I'm trying to identify if and when anybody's going to settle for a draw. At the moment, I'm not sure.
They don't
Leicester
look
slightly more passive, but
can't
be sure. You are playing it around at the halfway line, but whether that's your standard build-up.
Oh, good turn. Yes, I mean, I think it's a case of holding on to the ball, and I think when we saw those pass stats before, it's all right having all those passes, but how many of them are forward and how many of them are aside?
Well, there's a lot of sideways passes at the moment. It's lots of sideways passes and then a long ball that just goes out. So it's well, I mean, we're happy for you guys to do that, to try and if you want to try a long ball to the right side, we've got Dan Byrne who's 6'7". So please continue that way. It's going to be hard to break us down doing it that way. I think if you're going to break through, it's going to need to be Maddison cutting whipping it left, not the way you're trying to do it at the moment. Although our right back Kraft today has had a pretty decent game. He's been very, very solid. He's been okay. So another good performance from him, which is, well, it's beginning to be a regular thing now that he can play football. Not used to him doing a football. He's normally quite poor, so he's been very good recently. Especially because you change Lookman for Barnes on that side, which obviously is praise to the fullback if you've changed your wingers.
Yeah, yes, it is indeed.
I was concerned Lookman would have the better of him, but it's not happened.
He didn't have a good game, like I said, with Wheat Barnes and was taken off. The one time that we've seen sort of Rodgers make half-time substitutions.
Okay.
Booking for Kraft. Don't know what he's done yet.
Well, Tielemans has been poor again. I can see him scoring, because he's been so bad. I can see him scoring just out of anything.
Yeah, I just wonder sometimes though. Is like, yes, he's played better. Obviously, I'm not disputing that. But sometimes when these players like Tielemans, which is probably our best player, for just ahead of Barnes on sort of ability and what have you, and when they just have a off game, is it because we're expecting more of them because of what they can do or what we know they can do?
It's pressure, isn't it? There's a lot of pressure on these wingers, especially because a lot of these players are trying to get into international teams. Like Lookman has struggled for clubs, hasn't he? He was at Everton, he went to RB Leipzig. Winger wise, there's a lot of pressure. There's a lot of players in wing positions at the moment in the league that are very good, and a lot of teams have got a lot of wingers. Might be a case of people trying too hard sometimes.
Yes,
but I don't know about Harvey Barnes. I've not watched enough to give a fair assessment, because of what I've watched of him this season, he's been brilliant. But you've said he's slipped a little bit recently, so I don't know.
I mean, I say recently, just the last game. To be honest with you,
it was only PSV, was it? Okay.
Yeah. Again, people were moaning at him last season, like, he should be taking more shots. Why isn't he taking more shots? And this season, he is taking more shots. And now they're saying, "Oh, why isn't he passing? Why is he being so selfish? He can't bloody win." And that was a yellow card for Kraft. I think he thought he was on Strictly Come Dancing then with his partner.
Yeah, he did. He got too much of the player there, didn't he? It was.
He did.
It had to be a book.
I tell you what, it hasn't been a dirty game at all, though. It hasn't been a dirty game.
No, it's been okay so far. It's nice because normally, yeah.
And I didn't
Leicester
see what Marty got
it's more
booked
Maddison.
for.
Leicester are a very clean team. Maddison individually can be quite dirty, but Leicester overall are generally quite a clean team from what I watch.
Yes, yeah. I mean, he does have his problems with. I mean, he actually got. I think he got sent off when he went trying to claim a penalty once, and he said he'd learned his tricks. But
yeah, I mean, there's a reason why there are other number 10s like Emil Smith-Rowe and Foden in the England team, and he's not.
Madison wasn't happy there.
Yeah, I think it is a bit down to attitude. He needs to sort that out.
Yeah.
If he wants, especially because there's a lot of good. I mean, he's a traditional number 10 who's trying to play in sort of wingy midfield roles.
Yeah.
And he's got a lot of people ahead of him in the England team. Maybe not ahead of him. He is just as talented as a lot of them.
He was deserved to be dropped because he got injured, and then it took him a long time. When he finally came back and he was sort of, drip fed back into the team, 15 minutes, 30 minutes. It took him a while to get his form back. But, I mean, do you take him or do you take Grealish? Who's the better player? But then,
I wouldn't take Maddison. I wouldn't take Maddison. Just Based on his attitude, I wouldn't take Maddison. I mean, Grealish's attitude frustrates me as well at times. I would prefer to take players based on a system. I wouldn't want to take attitudes. And I think Maddison and Grealish both do have attitudes. You know, we don't want any more Beckham red cards. We don't want any more incidents like that at international level. And this is why I wouldn't take players like Maddison at Newcastle, because I don't like the smirky sort of trying to win things on the sly. You know, a good example of it is I want superstars like Kante, not Ramos. You know, we want happy, clean players, not dirty. If that makes sense. I'm not saying he's as bad as Ramos. Of course, he's not. But there is that little attitude in his game, and I would prefer to go down the sort of clean, nice guy, professional, elite player rather than a slightly more sort of controversial.
So thanks, Jeff. It's gone 1-1 at the London Stadium.
Ooh.
I can see this petering out, to be honest with you here.
Yeah, it's gone very flat in the last 7 or 8 minutes now.
Yeah,
the intensity has definitely worn everybody out.
And I think as well, you know, back of players' minds now, it's I don't want to make a mistake.
Yeah, I mean, it does look like you've got a lot more of the ball. It seems like we're defending a bit more now, and you're trying to pick the lock. That seems to be the situation. I think it's going to be you having most of the ball from now on, and us maybe going on the counter if we can. That's what it looks like. Kraft just got clattered by Iheanacho as well, which is fine. That gives us a minute to rest. I think definitely it's time to settle for a draw, unless we can get a nice counter. I think Leicester are going to try and push for the winner.
I don't know about you, but I mean, in the second half, I wouldn't say either of us looked like scoring.
Well, I was wrong. I was completely wrong. He's bringing Dwight Gale on as a substitution, as a striker. So it looks like he's not happy with the draw. This is what I said before. Eddie Howe just wants to win matches. He's not happy with draws ever. So it looks like he's bringing on the forgotten man, Dwight Gale, who's only had 29 minutes this season of football. That's how
old is he now?
He's not that old. He's 31, 32. He's not super old.
No.
Very conflicting information about him at the moment, because Eddie Howe says he's a great player. He actually said he's the best finisher he's ever worked with, but he won't play him. It's bizarre.
Yeah,
very strange.
I mean, there might be some sort of make him feel wanted still, sort of thing, you know,
or possibly trying to get his transfer value up for a summer move. Maybe he's trying to keep them.
That is true. That is true.
So Kraft's come back on from that. I don't know who Gale's going to come on for, though. I don't know who's going to come off.
This is the time when I usually I wish I'd got a dog, because I can take it for a walk for a couple of minutes and come back and
instead of watching through the pillow.
Yes. I think you've got to be pleased with Newcastle's performance, though. I think, haven't you?
Oh yeah, regardless of the final result. This is what I mean, though, about us trying to push for more than, like, people are saying 10th next season, or try and push us a little bit better. I think we've got to be aiming higher than that, because we've put in solid performances against West Ham, yourself. We beat Brighton, we beat Southampton, we beat Villa. So these teams in those positions that we're talking about, we're either playing well against them or we're beating them. So, and we've got a transfer window to come yet. So it makes no sense us settling for like 9th or 10th. Surely if we can beat those teams in those positions, we should be aiming higher. I mean, you'd think.
Good point. Good point.
It looks like Maxi's going to come off for Dwight Gale. So St. Maximan off, who's had a very mixed game. I'm sure he's going to get slated when I have to do the match review later.
Yeah, like I say, I'm sure Yuri's going to get the same. You know, there's one guy who always comes in and always says, always likes to have a go at Yuri. Another bad game from Yuri, you know. But there we go. 4-minute stoppage time.
Yeah, Kraft is having to put in a lot of hard work, but Barnes is trying to find space and run. Schmeichel's trying to find Barnes quite a lot as well. We've just got to be careful, because you've got all the ball at the moment. Leicester are They're doing all right. Not doing much with it though.
Well, yeah, exactly.
So we've used all 3 subs now. I think. Have you used all 3? I think you have.
Yes, yeah, because Inacho came on.
Although next season we'll get 5 each, won't we? Still only three phases of it, but 5 subs. That'll be very different.
It will. What's your thoughts on that?
I hated it before the takeover, and now I like it. But
yes,
because obviously we will have the depth. I think it suits teams like Leicester because you've got enough depth to utilize it to your advantage. But for the teams at the bottom end of the table, it's kind of it's unfortunate. But I think we are getting a lot of injuries. Because as the intensity of football gets better, like higher in the Premier League, players are running more than they've ever ran. There's a lot of hamstring and soft tissue injuries. It's good to have more subs. It brings it in line with the rest of Europe as well because they've all got 5 subs. So it means that our lads can do better in European competitions, such as yourself and hopefully us soon.
Yes.
And hopefully it will keep our England lads fit for international competitions.
That would be nice. That would be nice. There's about 15 seconds to go, I think. And we're just playing it around at the back. Oh, yeah. No!
That's an interesting sound. I don't know what your no is. I've not caught up with whatever that sound was for yet. I mean, it's all Leicester passing it around at the back for me at the moment, so I don't know what you've seen. Counter-attack. Oh. I'll wait till you catch up.
Well, no, I've seen it on the...
You've seen it. It's Bruno. It's Bruno Guimaraes on a counter, cracking header in the top corner. I was not expecting that at all. You just had it up our end as well.
I don't believe that. What did I say about?
You've left 2 centre backs on the centre circle. I'm not sure whose fault this is Leicester wise.
Well, you've got 3 strikers, 4 now. Sorry, 4 up front, and we've got
So who's your number 8? Oh, it's Tielemans. Didn't track Willock on the way back. Yeah,
and he gets
just got caught on the counter. I mean, Tielemans was poor at tracking Willock. Willock was a substitute, to be fair, so had probably had fresher legs. Poor pace from Tielemans, though. You can see where his weaknesses are on the pitch. And the cross took a lucky deflection, and Bruno just capitalised. Cracking header in the top corner. It is very harsh for Leicester, who I think have been okay. I'm not sure. I do think on the balance of shots, possibly this isn't too unfair, but
yeah. So I've just given us the win there. That would have been nice, wouldn't it? Oh, fuck's sake!
And we are safe and breathe.
It was a good header, in fairness.
There was a ping on that. Oh, bless him. He's on the floor. Lovely for him. He's uprooted his whole life, moved his dog and his family over. didn't speak a word of English when he came, and he's got the double at St James's Park. It's incredible, to be fair, for Bruno. Unfortunate for Leicester, they didn't do anything. He didn't do many things wrong over the 90 minutes. It was just, yeah, possibly the Europa League. I think you could have done with starting Maddison, really.
Yeah. I mean, I don't particularly think he's done much since he came on. I mean, that's just typical. Yeah, Anthony, you need to refresh your phone. Came up. Oh God.
5 wins on the bounce at St James's Park. It is a fortress again.
I don't know what it is. It's like I think if you're going to lose, to lose like at that point, do you know what I mean?
I'm proud of the lads for committing to the counter-attack, but if I was a Leicester fan, I would be disappointed with that defensive phase. Not enough energy trying to stop that. That was poor. Your centre-backs were rested, weren't they, against PSV? Justin was rested as well.
These two were, yes.
Justin
two were.
Didn't play. Tielemans played, but again, a lot of them you could argue should have done better. You can't fault Schmeichel for that though. That was a bullet. It did take a lucky nick to bounce up into his path, but even so,
well, you've got to take advantage of them, haven't you? When they come up. Well done, mate.
Thank you. It is a bit harsh. I feel like we had the better of the chances, but I feel like 0 points for Leicester is a little harsh there. I don't think you did terrible.
I think the draw would have, I suppose, been fair, but it's all about taking chances, and would I have giving you 3 points to get through to the semi-finals of the European Conference? Yes. The honest is that, because we're not going to go down, we're not going to qualify through the league. So, well done to Newcastle. You're safe. We'll see you next year again. With everything you've been through this year, I'm not quite sure where that leaves you in the table at the moment.
So that leaves Leicester in 9th position on 40 points. We are now only 3 behind you on 37 in 14th place. So if you'd have said at the start of the year that we'd be 3 points behind Leicester in April, I would have called you a madman. But somehow we are 5 games unbeaten at St James's. Well, 5 wins at St James's.
Yes.
But I mean, this is what people are saying. We are inevitable now with this manager, the squad. And Leicester are a good team. So I'm very proud of the lads. I would have been proud of them without the winner. With a 1-1 draw, they still played excellently.
Yes. Yeah.
And it's difficult to say what went wrong for Leicester there, whether it was how much of that was PSV, how much of it was the game.
I mean, you could argue that with 94 minutes or 90 minutes gone and 4 minutes on the clock, it's 1-1. Should you still be going for the attack? Should we be sort of sat back defending? No, we went for the attack, and it cost us. You
can't really, can you? If you're Leicester, what does that say about the if you're trying to defend a lead against Newcastle in our current situation? It doesn't seem good, does it?
No, it doesn't.
To defend a draw, sorry.
And I just KV says he thinks his neighbours must have called the cops.
I had to hold it in. I wanted to run around.
And I don't blame you for doing so, mate. I don't. I'd seen it come up though. You heard my groan before. Because
You've got to appreciate for us Newcastle fans, we didn't see our team win until November at Burnley. Yes. We've had so much pain recently. to start the season in August and to not win until we get to Burnley in November was so hard.
Look, you need a better look.
I mean, you've seen Leicester in the lower leagues, presumably, so you understand more than the top six, and you get it. You get the feeling.
Yes, like I say, we're still where we were before kickoff because we've got games in hand. And Debbie says there was that an extra time, crazy bonus time. Well, it's 4 minutes of injury time. And then if you mess about in injury time, it gets added on. And you're never going to please the fans because the fans are going to turn around and say, do you know what? Why were we holding back? We should have gone for the win. It was only Newcastle or whatever we were playing, no disrespect, but that's what fans will be saying. And so, we're going for the attack. Well, why weren't we defending? You can't
I think
win.
You should have attacked. I think you did the right thing. You should have tried to go for the winner.
Yeah. And I
you
think
can't be sitting back against a team in 14th. You need to beat them.
Yeah, and I think looking at those last few, 10 minutes or so, there was only one team that was going to get the win. And we didn't. And you did what you had to do, which was defend well, and you hit us on the break. It very, very reminds me very much of the Watford playoff game. So I'm in pain at the moment.
Yeah,
but look,
it was very, apart from sort of a 20 to 25 minute period where everybody got tired, that was a bonkers game for intensity. They're all going to be knackered.
Yes.
The Premier League sort of, we're what, 10th and 14th. The intensity played between two teams in 10th and 14th there was outstanding.
As a even if it finished 1-1, as a neutral, you've got to have enjoyed that game.
Yeah, definitely. It was a bit more quality. Like, with a bit more quality, that had like 3-3, 4-3 written all over it. There was so many chances. I'm surprised it wasn't a higher scoring game. There was a lot going on. I think it could have been on a different day. Could have been a lot more goals in that. Very exciting.
Jeff says there, well done, Newcastle. We look forward to playing you next season. Anthony, I did see your last comment, mate. I'm just not showing it. Funny how the Arsenal fans come out the woodwork when another team loses. You lost as well, Arsenal. Sorry.
Arsenal have lost loads recently, haven't they?
I forgot. Yeah. I'm going to go and get ready for the post-match review. Thanks so much for coming on, Alex. Congratulations.
I probably enjoyed it. Thank you for inviting me. It was great.
Of course you enjoyed it. Of course you enjoyed it. Just to remind people, your details are in the description below on YouTube. Just remind people where they can find you.
Yep. So if you stay around and watch this amazing gentleman's post-match review, we'll be doing one on the Toon review considerably later. The Toon review on YouTube. So we'll be reviewing this game. And that is Paul, who heads the Toon review. And you can find me on Twitter. I'm the Toon review Stato. And thanks again, Chris, for inviting me. It was, I would have enjoyed it even if it was 1-1. But I'm happy we got the 3 points.
Of course you are.
Good experience. Good watch along. Very professional channel over here. I wish you all the best and all the growth.
And to you as well. I've nothing against Newcastle, and I know you've been through hell, and you've come through now. You've got the new owners, you've got the money. Good luck to you, But no, thank you very much for coming on, and I will see you next season.
You will indeed. Thank you very much. Take care.
Thank you very much. Take care. Stay safe. Bye. Thanks to Alex there for coming on. Jason, let's just have a quick look at this. Goodbye, mate. So I will criticise no matter who says what. Tillemans really shouldn't be in the starting lineup. You have Daka, who's useless, and Nacho, well, he scores whenever it suits him. I'm sick and tired of seeing players who don't want to play. We can say we were robbed. We was tired from the last game. For the quicker some of these players are gone, the better. Wow. Okay, Ian, thank you very much, mate. Everybody goes, if you haven't yet subsidized, if you haven't yet subscribed on YouTube to Leicester Till I Die, please do. We do a lot of non-Leicester content, a lot of Premier League content, prediction, previews of the whole weekend's games. So do sub please to Leicester Till I Die TV. And thanks for joining us, Ian. Jason, I've been in the UK for a while, been sunning it up. Well, your fault. what you're doing coming back and costing us that. We've got the post-match show coming up just after 5. Join us then, mate, and let us know your thoughts. Take care, Anthony. All the best, mate. Thanks for coming in, and thanks for all the Newcastle fans that joined us. Thanks for Scott for being in, for David, for Jeff, all the way from the Philippines. KV, thank you. Ian, thank you. There's Tina, thank you so much for joining us. Pete as well. There's been a lot in today. It was an interesting one. Disappointing, yeah. Darko LFC, thank you for popping in. Yeah, was disappointing, but that's football. That's football. Jason, thanks very much for saying that, mate. Appreciate that. Really do. Thank you very much, Jason. Yeah, disappointing, but like I say, that is football. Would I have given, we had Palace, we had a UEFA Cup quarter-final, and we had Newcastle. This time last week, if you'd have given me 3 points, a European semi-final, I would have bit your hand off. So it's all not too bad. It's not the end of the world. Worst things happen at sea, as they say. Thanks very much. Like I say, please subscribe. Please smash the likes button if you've not already. And please share if you are able to. I'm going to be back, as I say, probably in about 40-odd minutes. And we will be looking and doing the post-match show. Thanks very much, guys. That's going to be a little bit interesting. Jason, pop on that if you want to. Let me know if you can make it. I'll send you the link. And I will see you in a bit. Take care. And we go again. Everton on Wednesday.
Thanks for watching Leicester Till I Die. This is Chris saying goodbye and see you next time.
Follow us on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram.
That's all, folks.